If you know, then you know what's about to go down. And if you don't know, we're going to let you know. But first things first, please, if you've been watching for time, if you're a fan of the show, if you've seen us face enough times and you're like, you know what?
It's
I like
sexy.
this stuff.
It is a sexy face. The gal them love the face.
Come on,
it's
man.
proven in facts and statistics.
I don't know what facts and statistics.
There's veracity to the statement.
You can add to those statistics.
Yes.
Please like the thing. Let us know that you enjoy the content. Comment. Please engage with us. Let us know if you agree with El, if you think he's always right. Which I don't know if that's
most of the time.
But if you do, then comment on the thing.
Most of the time.
Share it with your peoples. Let them know that you clocked onto this podcast first. And most importantly, please subscribe, okay? You got to be part of this community. We're trying to build. We're trying to uplift. We're trying to educate the peoples. So you got to be a part of it.
That phrase you just used, yeah? Part of this community. We're here to build and empower our community. 100%. The black community, man. And the wider podcast community within. There's so many of us doing the thing properly and nice. So let's work. Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, if you haven't heard of us before, if you're just tuning in for the first time.
That's an L, but continue.
Words.
You're lacking.
It's okay. No, it's okay. Because we're going to introduce it for you. We are 3 young black brothers. With a podcast platform.
Called.
Here to talk about music, culture, uplifting,
what else?
Educating, elevating the black community, one episode at a time.
Let me give you a black hand. That was nice, man.
Thank you. But yes, you are locked into the Experimentation Podcast. I am 1/3 of this glorious platform, the smoothest voice this west side of London.
I love this guy, you know.
He's been making notes. He's been trying.
I make music. I write stories. You know what that means? I got beats for your girl and a story with her name in it.
Pull up. He said he's got beats for your gal. Personally, if that was me, I don't think I'd have it. If I'm being honest. You know what I mean?
Going sick at this mic thing.
Oh, yeah, bless, bro. Thank you.
We're trying, man. We're working.
Thank you.
This intro.
I appreciate it. But listen. I go by the name of Jerry the Kid, a.k.a. Return of the Kid. What's good?
And, of course, it's the boy, El Ants RBG. Lost son of Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
What?
Literally, we're out here. We're moving. We're shaking. Not industry. If you see me at an event, you don't know me. We're not friends.
That's a lie.
I'm not industry. I just want that public disclaimer. Literally. The grand verbalizer, LA. I'm good with my words. Ask your gal.
Oh, no.
Do you understand? And last but most certainly not least, LA.
The one and only.
We're here, man.
Come on. And last,
but certainly not least.
Never the least.
Can I do it this time?
Oh, go on.
Because we have someone that is known around South London for a very, very long time.
Must have blushing.
He's the baitest face, but he's so low, you'd never know who we're talking about, bro. We're talking about the boy. He goes by so many names, I don't know where to start. I'm not going to do the actual gubby, because it could get sticky still. So I'm going to go by the one. You might have heard him on the BBC.
Oh, no.
You might have seen him filming at
I think they heard it.
the British Broadcasting, what? Is it channel? Me not even know the C, you know. He's so official. He knows the C. He knows the C.
Only him.
Only him knows the C.
They brought him in and they told him, they said, don't tell
It's a secret.
Don't say words.
Yo, it's a secret. You're not allowed to say
Fucking tell nobody.
Don't tell nobody. Spotify. Amazon. All these companies have bread, you know. He's even been around the way with Global.
I'm surprised he has time for us still.
Big man ting.
Hey.
Big man ting. Literally, ask your favorite entertainer, ask your favorite artist. They probably work with this man to my left. As soon as he gets a mic, it's raps.
Or he's rapping himself.
He's rapping himself.
We don't know.
He's got songs.
One day I rate it still. Because one day, he's working with poets. Well, the other day he's working with poet. I rate it.
Progression, growth.
Growth still.
It's called range.
We like that.
And we're literally saying it's the guy that has more gal than anybody in this
that's
room.
Rapping around. No, I can't lie. That's actually rapping.
I'm kidding. Camera. I'm kidding. I'm lying. It's the boy, J10,
J10.
You don't beg no friend.
Don't beg no friend.
Yeah, yo. How you
He
feeling,
loves
my
it,
brother?
He loves it. Look at him. Look at him.
Man, I'm dead. Tired. Got a lot of work on. You know how it goes.
Aye.
And today we're here to talk about an African giant.
Ayo, our guest.
Don't worry, I'ma tie it back in.
Okay, do your thing.
You thought I was talking about the album?
Oh, man.
I'm joined by a real African
You
giant.
spun that. You spun that. Nah, you spun that still. You spun that
Brother,
nicely.
this podcasting
I
thing
like
is
that.
mine.
Oh, say no. Hey.
I'm here with a man that has multiple passports, allegedly. I'm here with a man that has been to so many places you can't count it. He's got too many stamps. Ask man about him. You might have heard of Ola Midday. You might have heard of another O, but this is the big O. Curator of his own podcast platform, producer in his spare time. I don't know what else you do. You got, was it filmmaker? What else? You do a lot.
Bro, I'm just out here.
You just,
I'm just
out here.
lying.
Friend of the show,
Yeah.
family of the show. You've seen him before. He's also the owner, the sole owner of the second wildest take ever on this podcast.
Oh,
You know I was gonna
Jesus.
come here.
The second wildest take. It's not the you've been
Ooh,
eclipsed.
what was the first actually?
Tia's Chris Brown take.
That
T.
wasn't easy.
Hi T.
That was
It's closed. Nah, Big Man thing is closed.
Nah,
Big Man thing
I
is
watched
closed.
that one still was outrageous still.
That's one of the worst takes I've ever heard on any podcast, let alone us. Let alone us.
Yeah.
Let alone us. IT, big you up, man. It's all good. We're here. But I'm here with the man Ohiz from the Green Passport podcast. You might have seen him in pictures with Savage Dan. You might have seen
Not
him.
about that, you know.
You might see him working with industry heads. It's 3 letters. I can't say the 3 letters.
I'm blessed for that still. Yeah,
I don't rap guys on camera, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brother Ohiz, how you feeling, bro?
Come on, bro. Like I said, I was even offended when you called me a guest, bro. I'm home.
Ah,
Don't call me a guest in this place.
he's
bro. I'm
home.
bro. See my shoes
You
on,
right.
just kicking my
You right.
feet. I just want to chat to them, not demand them, bro.
Come
What you
on.
lot saying, man?
And how are we all feeling this fine Saturday
I'm alive, man.
evening?
Alive,
I'm
bro.
alive.
Amazing. And now we move from one African giant to Odogu. We're here, man. We're here to move from one to the other. And we're talking about an album that was released just under 3 months ago. It's crazy. It's bro got one of the biggest songs on the year on there. Got a man that's eclipsed so many records already. The heights he's going to now is almost unfathomable. Let me fix my sentence. Unfathomable, people. We're talking about Odogu, Damini himself, Burna Boy. Are we ready to get into it, or some background on it?
Let's go.
As I said, it was released just under 3 months ago, yeah? And it's an album which is very introspective, very personal. There's loss, there's glory on there, there's all sorts of range of emotions on there that we've yet to see from Burna Boy, really. If we're being honest, we see him more outwardly. For example, on the album African Giant, I think it's more outward. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is very reflective. And I think that's important to note as we go through the songs and we break them down, that this is a man that's surveying what's going on, contemplating, and not viewing it from a myopic perspective. Is broad. Do you know what I mean? So it's an album that's done insanely well. I read online, people, that it's got over 100 million streams from August, you know. That's in August. We're now at the end of we're in early October. I have to fix myself. And that's going to be upwards of 500 mil. That's going to do crazy numbers.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Especially with that lead. We're going to get into
Yeah,
it.
we're going to get into it, man. You already know what we're talking about, but it's going to have to build the suspense. It charted number 2 in the UK. Number 1 on the UK iTunes chart. Top 20 in America. Top 20 in America. Top 20 in America. That's hard to crack.
Sold out MSG as well.
Sold out. That was before the album, but that's important. Not every artist can do that, people. Not every artist
That's
can
a
do that.
serious value.
That's a serious
Very
stat
serious.
right there.
History, bro.
What are you saying, Jerry? Have you got anything else to add?
Nah, do you know what? We can get straight into it, like properly. Yeah.
Man, them, it's peak. Just take it all in, listen. We're gonna go, man. Track
Okay.
1.
Glory featuring Lady Smith, Black Mambazo.
My story, man.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Damini. Happy birthday to you. How old are you now?
Like the last time that you ever see me, hold me, yeah. Lately I've been fucked up, been having a hard time, like back when my dog died. From my ass to the park like apartheid, I could have survived. Dog life full of carbide, hold it down, I'm a sentence for the crown. And I never used to smile, though I never used to frown. 10 toes on the ground. One thing in my life ain't turning around from running wild in my town to the lobby. Oh, me, this is my story. Like the last time that you ever see me, hold me. I remember when they shipped me from the guy. The jumps for HMP and my silly had it back. So I had to have his back. Niggas started fighting and they cut me in my hand. So I grabbed one from the back and I flung him off the landing. You know the screws get extra ruthless when you're black. Laying on my back down the blocks feeling mad. Now I'm in the lab, trying to do the best I can. Oh, me,
Wow.
this is my story.
Amazing.
Like
The
that.
first song, Glory, it samples Enchantment's Gloria. So that bit, the Gloria, is a male voice part of a group.
Okay.
It's a R&B soul group from around 1976.
Jeez,
So yeah,
as such.
I do my thing, man. But yeah, I think this is one of the most personable Burna Boy tracks I've ever heard in my life. I never even knew he went prison in the UK.
Nah, yeah.
That's
That was-
crazy.
Yeah.
And I think this UK connection that he's established from a long time, he's not a UK artist, people, but he almost is, guys. To the point where he does so much work in the UK, he's here so often.
When uni here.
That's
He
what
went uni
yeah,
here.
yeah.
He's got such a connection to here that, and this established it more. He went jail here and nearly died here. That's a important connection to make. And I think the subject matter, the instrumentation is amazing. I just love how he just bled all on that track.
Before we even delve more into that track, one thing I have to say, and I promised myself I would say the second I get the chance to talk about this Burna Boy tape, the unspoken about MVPs about this album on this album, Lady Smith, Black Man, bro,
Give her a black hand, people. It's mad.
it's
Big man thing. And the layering of her to be on the first song and then the last song is amazing.
because they're like a Zulu group that's been around for time. Bro. Like you wouldn't even know that they have a song in Lion King. Yeah, they have
Swear
a song
down.
in the
What
Lion
song?
King. I forgot the name of the song, but it's actually like a classic. You would never even know that. They have a song in the Lion King, the first one as well. I was like, raw, because I was doing like proper research here. Because once I heard the outro of this album, which you're gonna get into, I damn near cried. I have a South African friend. I'm like, you have to translate this for me. I have to know what this means, and we'll get more into that here. But just how sweet the vocals sound here, and the things that Zulu in of itself is such a beautiful language anyway. So the way that's just layered in with the beat, Burna's vocals, I was just listening to it. I was just like, wow, okay, Burna Boy, like you got me. I mean,
Yeah.
And that's a good way. That's how you proper start out.
It's a great start to the album. My one critique is something we're gonna get into on this album:
Is what you mentioned to me before.
the accents. That's the only thing, and it's not bad.
Yeah.
This track is good, and I think it blends nicely because,
Uh-huh.
especially after you know that he samples a 1970s R&B soul group, that accent makes a lot of sense in it. Do you know what I mean?
Because the accent for you, what did it take you out of the song or?
Not on this song. It gets on other songs. I think it's just not applicable, and I don't think he needs to do it. For example, on the song with Pop Smoke, rest in peace. You should enjoy yourself remix. It blends nicely. Me outside when the beat beaming, no when you meet and green. Like it's nice. It flows very, very nicely. It doesn't sound like he's forcing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because now maybe I'm listening to a different thing. What accent? So where in the song did you hear it and you were like,
The kind of Yankee Americanized twang,
Yeah.
which you can hear,
That is. We're gonna get.
which most singers do. So I'm not being harsh when I'm saying that. I think him speaking pidgin in Yoruba, even his yard accent, I like. I like when he does that patois stuff. I think it's cold. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. But I think this one doesn't suit his vocal tone the best. That's just me personally.
I feel like even in general, like one thing that, to be fair, like we're gonna talk about the album as a whole eventually and how it sonically sounded from beginning to the end, yeah. But in general, one thing where I would probably not rank it as high as some of the other Burner tapes we do a ranking later, yeah. But I feel like in this album he was trying more to kind of like touch like the West, because before I felt like a lot of times Burner was making music for himself, and if the world felt it, great. But I felt like in this one, he just kind of really wanted this one to be like a commercial smash, which in a sense he did achieve his goal. But when you go back to like your core fan base, a lot of people in his core fan base probably won't feel it as much. You get me? Because you're trying to make something that the Yanks or whatever can listen to.
That's an important point you made. Because the original title of this episode was Love Damini is not as bad as people say it is.
It's not bad.
That was the initial title of this episode was going to be that. You know?
Keep the title there.
We can still keep it, but I think as you go through the album, these critiques make sense.
They make
Not
sense.
all of them, because I think some of them are harsh.
Yeah.
But some of the critiques make sense.
The reason I was asking about the accent was because I heard something different before that it took me out at first, but then I understood the context of like where Burna Boy's come from and his history with the UK, because he had that that like UK kind of accent that I heard, and I thought, ooh, like for a second I thought, bro, that was a bit, but then I was like, no, because I've heard it before and I've heard it and I know where he's come from, and I was like, okay, it makes sense.
But that's calm to again.
That
I
one
don't
is
mind
fine.
that.
Yeah.
That to me is calm. The same thing as the whole yard patois accent. He's a massive dancer. You can hear it. Like his old song, it's the A to the R, represent to the world. That's a big representing E to the R. That's a dancehall, not a sample.
Influence.
The dancehall interpolation. Yeah. So the interpolation just means I take your bars and say them like you. And it's credited because there's only certain ways you can say things, innit?
Yeah.
So it's credited in the way of he took the click my fingers, I'm gonna roll with me. Yeah, that song. I don't know if you know that song.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's been doing that for a long time. So I don't have a problem with that. I'm saying I don't really get the US connection. On this song, to me, it makes sense because of who he's sampling. And big up the producer, Elements Producers. So it's dope.
Yeah.
Have you guys got more to talk about in terms of his content lyrically? Because he was talking about being in jail, almost killing a man, having it harder being black in jail.
Another thing that people might not even know, like his boy that he's talking about, his dog, he's talking about Gamo, like that's his bodyguard that died. Bit close to the map. Like that's his boy that died. I don't know if a lot of people, well, outside of Nigeria might actually know that, but that's the guy he's always referencing when he says I lost my dog or my brother. But yeah, that's a guy, like one of his bodyguards in Nigeria he lost. To this day, nobody still knows how he died, but it definitely affected him, and you can always hear it anytime he brings him up. But yeah, apart from that, I'm just here to give context and actual, like, proper appreciation to the thing. As an intro, great. I don't think there's anything else that we could probably say more than that. It was a good intro sound. It really opened the door to the experience of this album, and yeah, and get to track 2 still.
Can I ask you, are you like you were a big fan of like Burna Boy from early, or like is this?
Oh,
something
I've
that
been.
you...
The thing is, yeah, it's like obviously because man grew up in Nigeria, like
Yeah.
so my first introduction to Burna Boy was Yawade. I don't know if you guys have heard the song. You never see Yawa. Again, these are old Burna tunes, bro. That we used to
How far
spin
back?
back. Bro, this was
2013ish.
Yeah,
So that same time as I'm here with the gal them that light up. That same era.
like to party. Yeah, that's damn time.
Yeah,
bro.
which
This
is
when he was
original
rocking-
Burna Boy. That's
Yeah.
his first hits, basically.
Yeah, this is when he was rocking high tops and everything.
Yeah.
Bro. Man used to
That was a
perform at
different time
like when I
still.
think about the fact that this brother is selling out MSG. This guy used to perform at my high school, bro.
That's mad.
Like that's
The journey is crazy.
like this man used to perform at high school, and most people weren't even paying attention to him. Why? Because they're waiting for Davido to come out. It's mad. One thing I've always said about Burna, yeah, while he might not be my favorite Afrobeat artist, which is in a discredit, I will have to tell the truth. Sonically, he's always been the best.
He's the
sounding
best
Nigerian.
by far, in fact.
I-
Vocally, I'm talking about. Just
Like-
his vocal ability, yeah, is great.
Yeah,
apart
vocal
from,
ability aside, like,
apart
just-
from that the one day calls and your Oxlade that are singers, yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from the singers, the artists them that can do multiple stuff, Burna's the best.
Yeah, and even just how this Burna Boy knows how good music sounds like. Like even his voice is powerful in of itself, but I feel like his production team or who is mixing in, he's literally on them for the songs to sound a specific way. And every album, at least since African Giant, has always been so thematic, and there's a specific vibe it's trying to get you to feel. And again, this album, like this intro, perfectly did it for what this album was supposed to do and the theme behind it. So
Themes,
I think sonically he's always been the best. Always. I'll never take that away from him.
I think the one thing he doesn't have, which maybe everyone gives to Wizkid, is how the music sounds. That feeling when Wizkid's music hits you different, as in his musicians. I think it's just better. That's just me being objective, but
I think so too.
but vocally, I don't think it's not the same. Like he can do more of his. For example, I always say it in the thing. The 3 songs that dropped this year, sorry, one dropped last year. The I say me, but I say me, but I say the remix, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wizkid could respectfully, because man's technically his kid FC still, man. I'm not this. It's not a diss. Like man, I don't think he could jump on that song and tear it up the way Burna could.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the pockets he got into, the rap influence, the back row G bar, and then like the Zumba later, it's like that's a moment that Wizkid may have done on the song, but the way Burna delivered those lines is just a bit separate.
Perfect, bro.
And then the final one, the Yaba Baluku, that's insane. Honestly, when I heard that, I said, this guy's crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the musicality to go from so many different.
And he's by far the best live performer in Afrobeats, probably ever. Have you ever been to a Burna Boy
No,
show?
but
I have not.
but
I've
I've
seen
seen
clips.
all the videos and he's crazy. He's insane.
I've seen clips.
It's
And that's from studying fella.
repping the T still.
Studying fella. And that's something that we need to get into, because this album, obviously after this year, we can move on to the next song. But I think it's important that this album was meant to drop on his birthday. Meant to be a birthday gift.
Yeah.
There's some legal stuff that we're not going to talk about,
Yeah.
because it doesn't matter what side of the fence you sit on. It's like, I always say it in the sense of, if he did the shit he's accused of, he's a piece of shit. If he didn't, it's unfair for him to get. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not going to delve into it. And I just think we often have this image of sometimes if someone has a cocky reputation that they did that shit, they're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he has that. He's got that rep. A lot of people will come say, "Man, that's a prick," you know. Like he's an arsehole. Just speaking from other people who have worked alongside him and other things. Like most have positive things, but they'll say he's arrogant. And I'm like, he's that
You
good
just need
though.
to follow him on Twitter though. Let me go
Yeah,
ahead, Mike.
yeah.
You just have to follow him on Twitter still. Like he's ridiculous, bro. He's always talking about how his manager literally has to take his phone from him, because every other day that he's on Twitter, like someone just pisses him off, he just goes, bro. And and that's the one thing that pisses me off about him, because his music is undeniable.
But it's all the extra shit.
It's all the extra shit. Like if you want to, someone wants to say Burna Boy makes bad music, you're a liar. Just truth be told, you're not telling the truth with it. But his attitude outside, that always makes it so hard to root for the guy. I'll be real.
Literally, and that's what it is. So going into that, we're going into track 2. And what is track 2, my brother?
Track 2, Science.
Science.
But I thought no, because I think the outro to the first one goes into the next one perfect.
no, play it. No, I wasn't saying
I'm gonna play it. No, I'm gonna
Yeah,
play it. I'm
play
gonna play it.
Pause it quickly, because this is another point I was gonna make, and then we can get straight into the song. There's mirroring here. If you listen to track 2 of this album, then listen to track track 2 of African Giant. Sonically, how do they both sound?
They literally transition the same way.
Same way, and listen to the actual instrumentation.
Exact same way, and the same talking drum.
And it's the
same.
Listen to the instrumentation, and everyone knows. If we play the song, you're gonna know the song because it's a legendary song by Burna Boy. But listen to how that song sounds, and listen to this one.
Okay, cause
Listen to it quickly. Quickly play it. Literally 5 seconds.
As in, the second song of African Giant,
Quickly.
yeah.
It's the same shit. So yeah, you can pause that.
Yeah.
I just literally did that to make a point of that's important. That's artistry.
Yeah.
That's something where that to the casual music listener it doesn't mean anything, but to people who love music, that's like, how have you managed to connect those dots again and make a song that's in a similar sort of vein? Is crazy. But yeah, please continue with the song, bro.
That's the thing. He cares about music, bro.
That's what I'm talking about in terms of that the small bits of patter and the dancehall bits.
You're feeling this still.
Nah, the rhythm's mad. The rhythm is crazy.
It's just traditional instrumentation. I'm gonna talk about it here, but traditional instrumentation for me will always get me.
The harmony was nice. I want to start with the chorus. Start with you do me science. It sounds very simple at first, but he ain't talking about chemistry and biology in that. I think it's you can correct me, or you as well, JJ, can correct me. Isn't science like a slang term for like black magic?
Basically.
Yeah, so now I'm asking a question. So yeah, if you're saying she's throwing him in like a hypnosis. That's how much he's wise. And he might have had that wine, yeah. When the girl throwing you to hypnosis. He said, yo, I won't go for this.
You're dumb, bro.
Bro, you're like, oh shit.
Shit. Man. No, honestly. And it's just nice to see the different sides of Burna Boy. That the first song was very serious, introspective, and this is a lot more light and fun-hearted, and you can do both within reason.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think it takes you from maybe him by himself, and then him now at a party, or him meeting a fine young lady who he's reasoning with, interacting with, and it's a journey on this album. Not a full story, I'll admit that, and that's probably where I might dock some points for it. But it doesn't sound crazy to go from where he was to where he's at now. Do you know what I mean? On this album. But in terms of, you was talking about, as we was listening to it, the traditional instrumentation. What parts of it really stuck out for you?
Because you know what the thing, yeah, like Afrofusion, like, that's basically what Burna is, like Afrofusion, and obviously going back to Afrobeats, and obviously the influence of the fellas or whatever. To me, yeah, there's just something about hearing or talking drum with an 808. It's so, like, to me, it's just so beautiful, like throwing it back to the past of how what music used to sound like now, because there's another genre of music called Fuji that literally, like,
We're going to talk about that.
we're going to talk about.
We're gonna talk about
we're
that.
getting into Asake in a bit, so I have a whole dissertation on that guy.
We're going to
But in general, yeah, when I hear traditional instrumentation kind of mixed in with what today's sound is like, a lot of people don't do it well, you know. Like, there's a difference between people attempting to do it because they have sick producers, which is fine. People try to do their thing. But again, Burna Boy is a music historian, and you can tell.
You
bro.
can tell.
You can tell. Like, there's people that make music because it's profitable, and there's people that make music. And even though he's cocky and whatever the things everyone want to say about him, yeah, like, he loves music. And you can tell the people that do make music, yeah, and it's like, yo, I'm a fan of the art form itself, whether I make it or not. And that's what Burna Boy is at the end of the day. So when you can throw back and show, like, okay, this is my influence, this is what I'm influenced by, and put it back and also put his own spin on things, I rate it. Like, you have to rate it, bro.
Honestly, as in, even on this song, it's not as lyrical as the first one. But
Yeah, it's just more of a vibe.
it's
like,
a more of a bounce, and
Is then the instrumentation do the talking
he-
essentially?
This
he's
is one of-
letting the
yeah.
beat talk.
this
And
is one of them songs that the lyrics could have been, like, this could have been an instrumental in and of itself, but the lyrics just, I don't know, a bit extra to it. Just give you something
his voice.
extra to nod to just vibe with. But this is one of those songs you don't need to know a word he's saying. And just feel
I
it.
do think it lended to the sort of vibe of it. It's laid back. You can picture yourself like at a sport, at a motive. This song's playing. He's talking about, like, yeah, like, this sweet when I'm talking to you, the way she's whining, it's mad. Like, you're picturing the moment itself. That, not like it's essential, but like it adds to it, and it makes it so that song that you're playing there, it makes sense.
Yeah, you know when you're at a motive, yeah, and then there's songs that everyone is reciting word for word, and there's them other type of ones that's more mellow that everyone is just kind of like just vibing out to. I feel like this
That fits that
song
bag.
is
I agree.
more of it. That more people are just trying to, like, in their zone, enjoying the music. This is what this song is. Well, for example, like, I don't smoke and them things there, yeah. But I feel like this is one of them songs that people that do smoke weed and whatever actually could just proper, like, vibe out to, because it gives just a sense of relaxation and just an absolute vibe, bro. But you know,
I
everything
also
is
love
bad.
the patois influence in there. Me and the gal them controller.
That's a
Anyway, me there,
yeah.
me want the gal them come over. I said,
That's what I was talking about when I said the lyrics are essential, because that right there, yeah, it's a bit of flair in there.
Yeah.
Like, anyone saying anything on the track, it could have been like, it's light, it's cool, you can vibe to it. But Burna Boy coming on there, we talk about his arrogance and his sort of character, like, outside of the music. Like, you say whatever you want to say about that, bringing that into the music, it works.
It does.
Because you're not gonna listen to a guy that's like,
That's an
shy,
amazing
he's a bit-
point.
He's laid back and he doesn't want to big himself up like that. Like, Burna Boy is gonna tell you, bro,
That, I'm that guy.
I'm that guy.
That's a great point you made, and I just want to piggyback off it. Yeah, the fact that sometimes artists are the worst people, but you know why they make the great music? Because they have the stories to tell you on the songs, and something like that is just a light throwaway bar, but it draws you in of, like, the Gallem controller.
Oh,
Like,
snap, okay.
and it's also a way of saying things. Like, we've heard Gallem glucose, Gallem sugar. Not many people say Gallem controller. It might have been said in sentences, but on a song now, he's among the first, if not the first, to say it. And that's flary. Do you know what I mean?
Very flary.
So now we love the song, man. And hold tight P2J, big Afrobeats producer who produced that. Do you know what I mean?
Come on.
So yeah, on to the big tunes next.
Next tune we got
Big tune.
Cloak and Dagger.
Dagger.
Featuring who?
Jails.
Oh my.
You had all the adlibs on there, aren't you already? Yeah, let's go though. Cloak and Dagger.
PSA people, we might have to wheel this. Not yet, wait.
Oh.
Yes, indeed.
Is it? Wheel it?
No, not yet.
Steady vibe.
So I'm moving cloak and dagger. Me in a black bandana in a Lambo with Joey Zaza. Diamond team. No shirt looking like a normal brother. Since I started, they carry my matter. Now, it's the return. Long awaited.
That's a hustler, baby.
2 years and 7 months of the hustler. Baba Father Hustler. The 4th collab is crazy. I let it run, yeah, yo. Me in a black bandana in a Lambo with Joey Zaza. I'm about to take my headphones for this.
Man's back, he's vibing.
No shirt looking like a normal rubber. Keep that up.
These are the songs that make me feel so sick to have long hair, bro.
I like-
You're just
you know-
going like
this. Them man pray and fall and stagger. I do know why them man call me Papa. Dancing dagger. Ain't enough for yo. I'm getting like a panda, man. They really wanna passa. Shit, I just got it.
See you tomorrow. That's mad.
So I'm moving cloak and dagger.
Is it?
I don't know where to start. Where should we start? I think we should start on the intro. Do you want to start?
I was gonna start with her still, man.
You want to start on Huss?
say,
You want to start on
Oh,
Huss?
bro, you took over that song.
It's
bro.
the return of. I think people need to take into account that it's been 2 years, almost 3 years of no J Huss music. The people have been crying out for, ask anybody that works in media. There's a.
He's been missing for that
They've
long.
been
It's-
missing.
I'm deep in it, and it's like, bro, this one here.
Nah,
when you
literally.
even when you just said, I'm just thinking about it. It's really been almost 3 years since Big Conspiracy.
Big
Are you serious?
conspiracy. And I just want to say this on camera. One of the greatest albums this country
She
has
has
ever
ever seen.
produced. Ever.
Facts.
And we're going to talk about it one
Big
day. But
facts.
anyway, Huss took over that verse. Lyrically in pocket. His delivery is amazing. It's how he said. It's not what he said. It's how.
It's how he says it, bro.
That's a Stevie Wonder.
Because if you're following him on like
I said the only
his
witness
socials
was
and that. Bro, if you're following him on his socials and that, you see him just freestyling over all the beats that he's going through. Like he's on there. I think he's in pockets. Like he comes off and then on. I don't know because I don't see it at the same time. But
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of issues surrounding the Huss situation that I will not get into on camera.
yeah,
And I think the Huss situation is very unique because he's a superstar that hasn't had the chance to prove it. Not because the system's banned him, because of not himself, but you know what I mean? There's so many other factors that have stopped him. People say 3 names. They say Dave, they say Stormzy, they say Huss. He hasn't had the chance to prove if he can do O2 yet. Do you know what I mean? Because that's so much has happened in his life. But that verse was a triumphant say of I'm the king. I'm back.
bro. What I was even saying about that, like all the freestyles I've seen and I've heard of it, like that flow there, he just comes natural, and it's like he's even just talking over the chat. But the way he's coming over it, it's like it's natural to him. It's crazy. I listen to it and I'm
I
just
can
like,
bet money he did not like even this verse he just did on Cloak. I can bet any amount of money he didn't write it.
I personally think he wrote it.
I
still.
feel like he could have freestyled this verse, bro.
I disagree with you because I think
genuinely feel like he
Go
would have freestyled this because again, like he said, it just comes so natural to him, bro. Like it almost kind of feels like it's just one long going thought. Like it's just one thought just going. He could have written it because again, that's just the brilliance of Huss. But in general, like I just felt like this was just perfectly flowing, bro. Like I just feel like whether he wrote it or not, this could have been a one take.
that I would agree with you.
This
I
could
do
have been
think
a
it's
one
one take. I just think it fits so perfectly in the theme of the song. That's why I wanted to start it at the beginning because the atmospheric production, of Tells, blood, bad producer,
You know your producers,
serious producer. As in, he's got one more on this album. I think that's crazy too. And as I said in the intro, this is the 4th Burna Boy J Huss collaboration. It's the first that don't have J5. Make of that what you will. That's not our place to say. what I will say is that this is a stellar. This is among the best they've got, and they've got some. They got Good Times. They got Settled Down. They got Play. I don't even know where to rank those 4 collabs.
I say this is second, you know.
What is in second, like out of the 4?
Yeah.
Which one's first?
Come on, bro.
No, say it.
No,
say
no.
it.
Which one would you say is first?
Between Play or Good Time?
Nah, because there's 2 that I haven't actually heard properly. But I feel like
It's hard.
nah, this one above play for me. I can't lie.
They've got
This
amazing.
one's above play. It's good time, bro.
Good Time is a serious song.
It's good. Good time is. But to me, this has to be like the second. This is second. In my
They
opinion.
both fit the vibe perfectly, and even the hooks. They pray that our fall and stagger means there's people praying on a downfall, which is a common theme in our music, which is something that we can get into in a side conversation, but I think it would take too much time. But I'll just keep on the point. That is sad that we have a community where a lot of us don't want to see each other win. But so he moves in cloak and dagger, in secrecy, as in he's protecting himself. So it's a double entendre of cloak and dagger, I'm protected in it. But cloak and dagger in secrecy. You don't know my next move. I'm plotting 5 steps ahead. You know what I'm saying? And Huss's energy on it is perfect because he's been MIA for 2.5 years plus. So someone who literally moves in cloak and dagger is on the song Cloak and Dagger. It's a marriage made. It's perfect.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. And the instrumentation, as I was saying by Tells, is just top tier. It gives a, as I was saying, atmospheric, almost final boss energy to it of you're at the final level and these 2 are at the top of the game and you got to defeat them. But you can't. It's literally that film where you think you have that plucky underdog hero, yeah, that they think they're going to come and win, but they just get defeated, blood. And that's the end of the film. It's the end of it's done. Do you know what I mean? But no, honestly, great production. Burna Boy's vocals on this, people aren't talking about this song enough in terms of the tone of what he's saying. There's a severity to it. That's very telling. And he's spoken about it on previous albums, particularly the last one, Twice as Tall, of defending himself, especially after Pop Smoke's death. Do you know what I mean?
It's a bit dark. I can get what you feel like. It kind of feels
Very dark energy to it, but
Yeah.
I think it works just on a musical level. On a personal level, that's why I can't rate the song super, super duper high, because it's not negative, but you know what I mean?
It ain't positive.
It's a dark energy.
not
It's
positive.
very dark energy.
I heard that. I was gonna ask you because there's bits that he's speaking, I believe, in his language, and I don't know if you were able. If you heard, I think it was in the chorus as well, where I didn't hear it, or if you heard it.
It's actually a mix of. It's like in that chorus alone, there's pidgin, patois. There's literally pidgin,
told
patois in English. Like, so it's a mix of everything. But yeah, like he explained the concept perfectly, like cloak and dagger, where it's just like, okay, cool, I'm gonna move. Like, you know how people always say, I'll try to move in the shadows. You don't know my next move, but that doesn't mean I don't have it on me. Like, just because I'm trying to be quiet with the thing doesn't mean that doesn't mean that I don't have it on me and I'm not ready to attack. You get me?
But it's not just a literal weapon. It's a spiritual weapon. And that's
Yeah.
the part that's underrated about it. It's a spiritual weapon. As in, he's
Yeah.
spiritually protected.
Yeah.
I'm moving cloak and dagger, but I'm protected by an energy that's
There's a line
different.
by, I don't know if you guys listen to another Afrobeat artist, his name is Zlatan.
Yeah.
Like, there's a line that literally perfectly like describes exactly what cloak and dagger is. Like he says in Pidgin, it's you don't know wait to me on God talk for altar, which kind of means like you don't know what like I'm so like you can't touch me because me and God have like our own different like I'm so spiritually protected, like there's nothing you can do to actually touch me. That's what, so they both are kind of trying to give up the same like meaning. That's what it's trying to say, is like I'm so spiritually protected, like there's nothing you could actually do that can touch me.
Okay.
They're trying to give up the same message in the song.
100%. 100%. So yeah, that is the mighty the mighty return of the amazing J Huss. Burna Boy, was that track 3?
That was track
I already
3.
just remembered track. No, yeah, that was track 3. But going in track 4, I just saw the name again. I'm so excited to listen to it again.
Play the outro of track 3 as well. It's that feeling of orchestral. It's amazing. It's just the bending of the sounds and the sound waves. This is music, man.
I just kind of asked the like dark aura of the song.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
That bit there.
which is crazy because the next song, man,
It's jumpy as but you are nice mad. I was gonna say I'm sure you have beats like this with the outro that's like
blood.
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Danger. Big tune.
You already know the song. I don't need to intro it. You've heard it. Kilometers.
I don't want
Kilometers.
I don't want many kilometers. Learn from the teacher. Whoa. Oh no, the name is only no confinement for your speaker. Yeah, you blow your mind with a vista. Kilo me. Oh, yeah, come make I give you the gist. Somebody did it like this. Too much ice on my bumper clap wrist. You've heard it as a single. It dropped April 2021. It's right in that middle of that dancehall Afrobeat sweet spot. And when you land it like that, you make rhythms like we just played. Kilometer by the great Burna Boy. The song is crazy. I've had that same reaction you just seen from the moment I've heard it. It doesn't get any, oh, I've heard this before. The song is crazy. I think it's sampled.
You should see him performing.
I need to see him perform it. That's one thing I've not done yet. I think, it samples a old Ghanaian record, I don't know the name of it, but I got told by someone, and I don't know the name of the record, but it's got a sample in there that has that dun, 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 that bounce in it. I don't know the name of the record.
I'll try to quickly find out.
Yeah, if you can find out for me, I appreciate it. But
interesting.
just even the big tune at the front, you know what's going to happen. And I think in telling his story, as he said on the first track on his album, to link it back, this is basically telling people, I'm not from Ye. I'm not from this song that you know. I've been doing this for over 10 years. Do you know what I mean?
They tried to blackball him as well.
That's him. But please talk more on that, because I think even I don't know much about that.
Because the thing is, like, I don't know if you know, but Fella's lawyer was Burna Boy's grandfather.
Granddad, yeah, of course. Yeah.
So there's a lot of that. When Burna Boy came into the scene, a lot of artists were fucking with him. Like in general, like Nigeria in general, weren't fucking with the style originally, because when he came, we're still in the school of the Banj. Obviously, Davido was coming up because it was very, very traditional Afro beats. Like this song was supposed to sound a certain way, chorus meant to sound a certain way, but Burna Boy, as he's always done, sounds different, vibes different. And there's obviously the influence from the UK he's just coming from. So
Jamaica heavily as well.
Jamaica influence as well. So there's that. So you had artists that weren't fucking with him. You had a lot of fans that weren't fucking with him. Like, so, a lot, like, in general, Burna Boy, I understand why a lot of times sometimes I understand why he wows out. Because when he actually says, oh, like, I proper did this myself in an industry where people weren't fucking with me. I get it. Because people were not fucking with me. They used to laugh Burna Boy out of some stages. Like, people weren't fucking with him. It wasn't like his first big feature was the Banj, bro. And even that, he had to pay for it. It wasn't on a... Because you know how sometimes, like, say a Burna and a J Hus, like, there's some relationships that, that's my guy. Like, even though I'll pay you for the record, it's like, that's my guy regardless. We can link it up anytime. That the Banj Burna record was a pure... This is an industry thing. That was a pure industry thing. People were not fucking with Burna Boy in the beginning, bro.
This is important because that passion, that chip on his shoulder, as you can see in his tweets, is on this song, and that's what makes it so good. And you can really feel him that he's walked many kilometers, plural. Even though he says it kilometer for effect, he's meaning kilometer plural. Thousands of hours of practice. This is important. That's why I love this song so much, because that bravado is mixed with humbleness. It's a weird what I'm saying, but just follow me. it's the arrogance mixed with the humbleness that makes this record so great. The record is great because he knows where he's come from, but now he's at the top. It's like, you lot can't tell me nothing. As you said, I did this by myself. You lot tried to blackball me. You didn't like that I was including this sound from here. This sound here. Cool. Now I'm here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I've come many kilometers. You get me? Like,
Can I ask a question?
Go.
So, we've talked about, you know, his come up in the industry. Not many people were messing with him. And he's now at a level where, you know, he's making the hits. And across that, you can see outside the songs, he's got the arrogance, he's got the flair, he's got the character to say, yeah, I've done this. In other songs that will go through in this album and then the ones that we've heard from before, do you think there's an attempt to, or do you think there's like a perfect attempt to make the connection between why he's like this, why he's come and said, yo, like, I'm the guy, like,
Yes.
respect me?
I agree
Do you know
with
what I
that
mean?
because of
But
how.
I was going to say quickly because what you were saying before about like people laughing him off at shows, no one in the industry messing with him. He's got connections within the industry already, but people still look at him like, nah, I'm not trying to fuck with you. There's a lot of isolation in that. Like you can look around and be like, what's going on? Like why?
And it's important to note that the thing about Fella and this, it's like Bob Marley, and I've come here to make this point of Chronic suffers from the same thing, and it's due to Chronic's fault. Chronic's put his name in the same sentence as Bob Marley.
you don't do that.
Ever
bro.
since he's done that, that has followed him like a bad habit.
What was the
a
sentence?
sweet, pardon?
What was the sentence? Like what
A
do
sweet, Chronic's at the kid there. A one drop beat, pana. Are you get them bob with a different step in?
Oh.
Are you get, which basically means in patois, you give us the Bob feeling, but it's different. You can't. The Marley family don't, as much as they will never say anything publicly because they're not that type of family to do that. They don't like that. Bob is Bob.
You leave him alone, bro.
Same thing as in Nigeria. Fella's fella. It's not a discussion. Fella's here. You lot are all underneath here, and especially the fact that he does it in some songs so well, but he's often not copies, but takes things from Fella. There's samples. There's, as I was saying, in terms of taking bits like giddy, that's Fella. There's so much stuff in, you can chronicle his career and say, he took this from Fella, that from Fella, that from Fella.
Bro, there's so much, because even now, when he really started making that connection between him and Fella in his songs and his music and his influence or whatever, like going back to 2020 during the whole NSARS thing, and then there was a period that Burna Boy was silent, at least
that tweet,
there was a period that Burna Boy was silent or whatever, even though he was actually working behind the scenes, helping or whatever, which I rate. In the midst of that silence here, everyone tried cooking, just like, oh, this guy calls himself Fella, but Fella would have spoken up, Fella would have been there in the.
There was a politician that
protest,
made the
blah, blah,
tweet.
blah.
You've seen the tweet
Yeah.
where he basically said, you constantly compare yourself to Fella, but if you was Fella, you'd be out in the streets with the people. And I think it's important to notice that he hears all of this and has responded to it.
Yeah.
And I know on the song Ambassador Go De Chop, where he's not scolding people for not fighting back, but people have taken that clip from the song and said, you're scolding people for not fighting for police brutality, but you are silent. And you see how words are powerful and how it can follow you.
Yeah.
So
once you put yourself in an echelon of certain artists, like you said, to the Jamaicans, that's Bob.
you don't touch Bob,
For
bro.
us, it's like you don't mess with him, bro. That's the goal. You don't touch him.
Especially when people can make the argument, what have you done? Obviously for him now it's getting less and less so because he keeps doing so much. In terms of now Chronic's is like, how dare you put your name next to Bob because you don't stand for the righteousness like Bob does. In there, I'm not saying I'm saying that, but that's from the island, what people from the island have said. Do you know what I mean?
Fella lost his mom behind his words. That's a lot of things. Like that's when you compare yourself to someone like that. It's like, bro, it's always gonna be techie, bro. Because Fella, and you can even people. There's still conspiracies that like he might have even been killed, but that's a topic for
That's another discussion.
That's another discussion there. But he lost people and lost positions. Fella could have been a lot bigger if he took bribes from government, because he tried to be silenced with bribes, like, just chill, like, stop talking about us or whatever. Like the song Zombie, like that's probably one of his,
Zombie,
like,
that song, yeah.
He's talking about the current president of Nigeria. People don't
That's
even
important.
know. That's like people don't even know that. The stuff that fella was warning us about before, it's like
It's happening to this
it's
day.
happening now because Buhari was at the time when fella made that song was the dictator in charge of Nigeria, and Nigerians voted him again.
That's I didn't even know
Yeah.
that. That's insane. The
Yeah.
same man.
The same. He's the second military general to be
My Lord.
democratically voted in as Nigerian president. The second one.
Yeah, and I think so. We basically, to circle back to the point we're making about the song "Kilometer," is Burna hears all this every critique, because that's not the only critique. That's
Yeah.
probably the loudest one we can hear.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? There's also things in that song where, as we were talking about, the patois and the mixing of flows and styles, the pigeon, is so much going on there. I love it.
Bro.
But what are we saying now? The next track? Are we
Come
good?
on, spin it.
Let's go. Oh, sorry. By the way, to pick up on what you were saying before, the sample, I couldn't find anything related to. Was it a Ghanaian song that you said? Nothing about that, but it did say it was recorded at a beach house in Ghana. Burna Boy described Kilometer as dealing with how far he'd come whilst retaining a sense of fun.
That's important.
Yeah, but then there's also one sample. I don't know where they're from. It says Mex females.
I saw that and I couldn't find actual audio because I wanted to
Let me. I think I've got something here.
hear the audio and it didn't play.
Oh, was it from who sampled?
Yeah,
Yeah, because it says it's saying audio not found. But
You
yeah,
guys are proper. I go through who sampled all the
Yeah.
time, bro.
This one, you
Hey,
know
quickly,
this
the man said, that's why everybody hitting on me like Chris. Back to the same idea we're talking about, innit?
Yeah.
And the final thing I want to say, before I forget, learn from the teacher is again, it's a double entendre. So, fella, teacher of his granddad and whatever, and Vibes Cartel, his nickname is The Teacher.
Oh,
He's doing a
see,
dancehall style. Learn from the teacher.
I didn't know that.
That is I know Burna Boy, he listens to enough dancehall
Of course he does.
and he knows who Vibes Cartel. Like, first of all, everyone knows who Vibes Cartel is still, but he knows the significance of what he's saying with that, even though he's behind bars. Cartel's influence is ubiquitous, blood. It's everywhere, omnipresent, fam. You don't move in dancehall and Cartel not know about it, even behind bars.
Even behind bars, bro.
So,
Yeah.
next track, please, sir.
Next track. I beg you pronounce this for me, because I like this song as well. But like, this one is my actual favorite song. Of the, I think so.
I'll say Jagile.
Jagale.
Jagile, yeah.
Okay, next tune. Oh no, sorry. There was actually one thing. It's an important
Go
thing
on,
you actually
say
should have
it.
mentioned about Kilometer. So if you'd heard it from a year ago when it was released, and you then heard the studio version, the album version, slight difference.
Thank
with
you
the
for mentioning
instrumental,
that.
'cause
We
important.
forgot that.
we very much skipped that. I actually heard it when we were listening just now, and I thought, you know what? I get it, and it works.
I don't know.
It kind of does work, because the bit you were talking about, the second verse. I don't even know the lyrics for it, but the way it
Where
hits,
I come, make I give you the gist.
That one there,
Somebody did it
that's
like
all in
this.
and out with that guitar strumming. I thought, you know what? Nah,
I get
even
you.
without it, I still think it goes in.
I think it sounds
But
better because it goes, oh yeah, come make I give you the gist. Somebody did it like this, and it drops in and the beat drops in and out, and I think it makes the statement more profound. It's like it catches your ears properly. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you.
Yeah,
but
every
with,
bar is actually really just cradled in with the beat. That makes sense.
Yeah,
I do hear
but
you.
I get what you're saying.
I say with the guitar sound, because I think it is in and out as well. It's just sort of that reverb of it. You can still hear it. There.
Okay, well then,
that's
yeah.
what I think it is. But yeah, like it being in and out, it makes it sound a bit more full.
I
me.
agree with you because it is just a dung dung dung.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Dung. That's the major part of the beat. So that's a good point.
But then I want to ask you as well, like, because we're now in an era where, like, with digital streaming, like everything is a lot more accessible. Everything is quite changeable. Like we're in an era where, like, a lot of artists now, you know, they'll release a track, they might hear some feedback from it, or they might give themselves hear it and be like, "Ooh, there's something I want to add, or there's something I don't like," and they can go and change that, which you couldn't do before. Really, CDs, you can't. You know what I'm saying?
It's not just the CDs; it's the recording process. They
The whole
have
recording
tape.
process was just
So
couldn't.
if you using tape is a crime.
Yeah.
You gotta remember that.
Yeah,
It-
I agree,
like,
you know.
in terms of that recording era, it's like a label would say to you, "What do you mean you want to redo the tape? What do you
can't.
mean? You can't. We don't have enough
dumb,
money
bro.
in your budget to record. Are you sick? You better do with that how you want to, or otherwise
Yeah,
it's a remix thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I want to ask you, like, what do you guys think of artists being able to do that, and then they themselves putting them to do that? Like,
It's
do
dope.
you-
It's dope, bro.
I think it's dope.
Again, it's going back to proper music historians, you know. Like,
Mm.
and I rate that so much because it's a thing where it's like, bro, it's one thing making the music, you hop in studio and make a sound that people will still appreciate.
Yep.
But then when you're going back to like the basics and you're going out of your way to do things the way the people that influenced you did them things, apart from the fact that it actually kind of creates an element of really traditional type music, it just really just shows like the appreciation for the art. So even while I'm listening to the song, I can still be like, you know what, yeah, I rate you for putting in the effort to actually go out of your way to do that. You get me? That's
100.
how I feel about it.
A big man thing.
Mm.
And the next song, Jagale, is that pronounced right?
Yep. Yeah. You
Let's
guys.
Yeah,
go.
thank-
Yeah.
And quickly before we start, what song, does this sound like again off African Giant? Think. Play it. As soon as it drops. My baby. Oh. My baby. Alright, that note. Choco.
Alright.
Chakale, kale my baby. Cause my mommy no there. So
Sweet.
you've had time to think. What song does that sound like off of African Giant?
I was gonna say, I can't pronounce it as well, but
Cause I was gonna say when the bed do they enter.
that
boy?
one, yeah.
Cause I'm thinking again in terms of this one, it's not the same track for track symmetry, but I think he knows what sounds his core audience likes. That's one of his biggest songs.
Yeah.
One
I
of
have an unpopular take on this
go on.
song, and it kind of goes a little bit to my critique on the album in general. Yeah. Again, good sounding music. Everybody knows Burna Boy is gonna make music that sounds good. You get me?
100.
But in a lot of ways, yeah, bar the 1-2 songs on this album, yeah, do you really hear, which is not really his fault because some artists may suffer from this, are you really hearing progression in the sound?
Well, okay,
Ooh.
because what you said about it mirroring African Giant,
Yeah.
like the second track for track, I thought that's actually mad interesting. Because when I heard it, it did give me that sense of familiarity. I was like, yo, I've heard this, but it still worked, and I liked
I
it.
think it still works though, and I think if he goes too far away from the sound, because we get far away from the sound in the latter half of the album, you know,
Yeah,
and I don't know if that suits him personally.
no,
Even from African Giant to
Twice
Twice
as
as
Tall.
Tall, there were certain songs here that I'm like, yo, like, he actually took it up a level, which I didn't think he would do because African Giant is such a seminal record, you know. And there were still parts of it like, okay, his sound improved here. He actually improved his delivery here. He's more heartfelt, retete. But in a lot of the songs on this album, I'm not going to say all because that's not fair because we're about to play a song soon that is personally my best or second best song on the album, depending on how I'm feeling. But in general, yeah, do I hear in a lot of the songs growth? Because it's one thing to mirror the sound, which plays back to African Giant. I respect that. But if you're doing that, yeah, it should be a thing where I could listen to that song and be like, you know what, I don't have to spin that. I can listen to that song and like, you know what, I can spin the other thing. because that song is objectively better.
I hear
So
what
they're
you're
gonna give
saying.
me the same feeling, but why am I not just gonna go back to the classic thing if they're just gonna give me the same feeling anyway?
That's an important take. I kind of hear.
I
what you're
agree
saying
with you
that.
to an extent, but I disagree with the element that Twice as Tall is better than this.
Oh
you saying
no,
Twice as
that's
Tall,
not
you
what
were
I
talking about African
said.
Giant.
I'm talking about African Giant and comparing individual
Oh,
songs
to this tape.
to Twice as Tall. No, I didn't even compare Twice as Tall to this thing. But I'm just saying, like, okay, if we are gonna compare Twice as Tall to Love Damini, you can argue Love Damini is better. It depends on, I know what I believe is better, yeah. But if you want to say there's a significant growth, that's not the truth. We have to be honest. It's not the truth.
No, I'd agree if you say it's not a significant growth, but I'm not even trying to shoot him, Bell, because that is something that I agree he needs to do. But where else is he going apart from going pop? And the same fans that are gonna say we need growth are gonna say,
I disagree with that. I feel like you can still stay within the core of what your music is, and still, because if Burna Boy stayed with, because again, I knew him from young. I knew him from time back. You knew him back. Like I've known him from Don't Go Go, like back, like his
Old school,
old tunes, yeah. And those songs are hits. None of us saw Ye coming.
not a single one of us. Nobody.
No one saw Ye coming. You get me? But a lot of us that were his core fans still thought, well, this guy is making sick music. And I'll be fair, he went on a maybe 2-3 year rut that he was dropping songs that, again, there was no elevation. And then Ye. And then all of African Giant.
I get what you're saying, because even to this day, the actual production value of Ye, it's one of the greatest in the genre. It's one of the most well produced songs we've heard.
Now think about it. Now think about this. And going back to why I feel like you can actually progress as an artist without really throwing away everything, your core beliefs and whatever. People were calling Ye the national anthem of Nigeria, bro. That's a Job level compliment. Most people would think, yeah, he's not gonna have a bigger song than Ye, is he? Oh, there's a song on this album.
And that's where it gets into subjectively, is it better? Is it bigger? And that's the conversation we need to get into.
I don't want to get into that song until it plays. So
Oh,
let's
no,
just go into
not
the
now.
next song.
Yeah.
But
I get what you
in
mean, though.
general, as the album goes on, I'm going to continue talking about my point in general as what my, quote, slip-ups or where it could have improved on this album is. But yeah, that's just me.
But it 100% has credence to it. I will not dismiss it as a non-point. It's defo a point that is salient. It's salient to highlight. All I will say is that he's still early in his mainstream career. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I say that,
He's 10 years deep, but to the wider international audience, he's not a new artist, but he's cementing himself as a legend. You do 20, 30, 40 years in this thing. You see the Rolling Stones, you see Mike, you see Prince. I can see him doing one of those careers if he keeps out of the nonsense and stays on the music. Do you know what I mean?
Even when I said this was my favorite one now, and I think about what you lot said about, compare it to the next song in African Giant. It's like, yeah, because it gave me that feeling, and I thought this is the burn I'm trying to hear for the rest of this album.
You see, but that's two things though. The fact that this song is one of your favorite and it's your vibe, that goes back to how good AG was.
Yeah,
You get me?
yeah.
And again, people might feel like, oh, Juggly is a banger still, which it is. It's a vibe.
But it's not levels to the song we mentioned. I would not say I liked it.
Nah.
It's not.
Even me, it's not among my favorite songs of the album.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good song of the same vein of why we like Burna Boy. But I think if we're talking about the progression element, I think lyrically is where he needs to do that. But that's a separate conversation.
And in terms of just elevating, in terms of just being an artist, I can hear what you're saying. Because if you go from African Giant to this, you've done 2 albums and you're giving the vibes that you gave off of the last, which I'm not even to discredit anything.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. You can do more. And we're looking at Burna Boy as someone that's got the potential to go, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, very early in his mainstream career.
He's someone that's been his own score before. So unfortunately, I'm going to hold you to how... Because the only reason why I can even, in my heart, be like, I know you can do better, is because I rate you. Like, if I don't rate you as an artist, I'm not going to believe you can do better
This
than the
song
last
will just get
thing.
a pass and you'll be like, yeah, good, man, good. It's
Yeah,
calm.
that's the certain artist that if you do the bare minimum and just sound decent, I'll be like, right, you did your thing, you know. For you.
But this is why it's harsh. I get what you mean.
You did your thing.
And you know what? If your point is about content, because I think content-wise, this got worse in terms of than African Giant.
Okay.
Oh,
sorry.
content-wise, Burna hasn't touched AG yet.
What was he still talking about on this song? Because I didn't understand what you were saying.
Bare of was in you. Like, this is just another one of them vibey tunes. Not really.
He's not
He
saying
ain't really
much.
saying nothing.
He didn't really say nothing.
And that's the problem, that this is where my critique of the album comes in. Because if that's your critique of it, we are in agreement. I thought you meant sonically.
Oh, it's two things. Like, sonically, again, there's not really. And you could argue you got sonically bad. I'm not gonna.
And that's
Yeah.
where my point was. But
Yeah,
it,
but not singing. But when it comes to lyrics, he definitely didn't progress. I'm not gonna.
And
argue with
content.
anyone.
Because
Content-wise, he did not
as you said,
progress.
in terms of AG, that's a content-filled album. It's almost a concept album.
Yeah.
It's not, but it nearly is. But on to the next song, because we can stick on this the whole day.
I like this next song as well. Whiskey.
Ooh.
Mm.
I'm going to be honest. I genuinely don't know how I feel about the song yet. So I'm going to have to hear it now.
What, lyrically or just in general?
In general.
For the whiskey.
Harmony's nice.
I fall too easy. I pour the whiskey.
People they would just sleep for their mouths to let you know. Some they walk on the other side of town, then they fall. Easy, like in a gap. Used to think I'm easy.
That pocket is nice. That pocket is nice.
As long as you don't sink inside the water, I fall too easy.
I pour the whiskey. That's it. I fall too easy.
Ooh. Well,
Big up the producer P2J. I like that one.
P2J, Afrobeats production legends, fam. Big man thing. It's a big producer.
Hard.
I want to say, I think this song answers some of my critiques lyrically.
Go on.
Because he's talking about his environment.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about the place he's from, the problems in terms of the air.
You know, I was actually
Religion.
gonna challenge you guys, and
Go
I
on.
was trying to see whether you guys actually caught what the song was about.
Yeah.
No,
I was-
yeah.
I was listening. Yeah.
To be fair, I was looking at the lyrics as well, but I heard it. But firstly, when I heard it, because I heard it today on the way here, that intro bit where she was talking about the environment, I said, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay, you're getting into
So
something."
that's heavy pigeon as well, you know. So
Yeah, no, it is. I was reading the lyrics, but I was also listening at the same time of the things I could understand. Do you know what I mean? So
because when it's saying pour the whiskey, this is we're gonna turn up. This is sad
yeah.
whiskey.
But that's important because I think it's that balance. Because earlier in the album, you got a party celebration vibe. And I think this leads into the next song perfectly. We're not going to talk about it just yet. I think he's just talking about this is the stuff that we love Burna for. As a Burna Boy fan, this is my favorite Burna Boy. The socially conscious. He's talking about what's going on in his environment. My favorite song off of AG is Collateral Damage.
Fair enough.
That's my favorite song.
That's probably mine as well.
Like it's an.
No, it's not. But you know,
I mean, I think it's a song after it. They wanna tell you. That's up there too.
yeah.
But I'm saying, just in terms of music, as there's people who play that tune at a party and act as if they don't know what lyrically is being said. Lyrically, he's talking some things on that song. Literally. So on this song is similar, but I think it's more laid back vibe. This one makes you listen to the words more because it's not a turn up vibe. It's not a dance vibe.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
What you said about that depression whiskey, like hearing him sing about like I pour the whiskey, I thought that because it kind of hits you in a way where you're thinking this is laid back. If you don't understand some of the lyrics behind it as well, like the language he's saying,
And let's say you're just like a move or whatever, just say, yeah, let's pour the whiskey.
but even then you're still thinking like, like there's a heaviness to it, which I feel like
Which is important.
it was. But okay, so now I want to ask you because we're this far into the album, right?
Yeah.
You told me you feel like this was sequenced well,
Yes.
it was.
and
I
then
definitely think it's sequence well.
what was your argument behind that? Because like hearing this and then hearing the ones you've gone through now, it's a mix of different things that he's been talking about. And
I'm
I
talking
feel
about sonically
Oh,
mixed
sonically,
well.
okay.
Sonically is sequenced well. Subject matter wise, you can make the argument that it's not, but I think it goes on a journey, and I think not all stories are in chronological order.
they're not linear,
Exact.
yeah.
We get the vibe. So the vibe is he's in one place to another. He doesn't necessarily explain it, which can be a detriment to the album. So you can say it's a negative point. But if we're going off of this is a mate, and this will lend to my other point. I'll just tease it now. How do we know that this was fully planned? And the songs are on this are fully planned. I'm teasing the point.
what are you talking
I'm
about?
not saying it yet.
Okay.
I'm saying it when I'm saying
You
it.
know what? I'm gonna get into as well. I feel like I know what you're about to say.
You know what I'm saying. I'm not saying it yet because it's for the end of the album. We got songs to get to.
Say no more. Cause I was gonna say sonically, he's not taking me all over the place, and maybe it's because I'm also listening to the lyrics as well. Like it's not. I guess I'm not asking this of Burna Boy. Like I'm not expecting this to be like cause every single song goes into the next the way it should or the way I think it should. It doesn't take me out of it, but I do look at it like okay, somewhere where I think he can like grow and improve on it.
I feel you, but could you make the argument that this could be done on purpose?
No,
Because
possibly,
if you look
possibly.
at the introspection of the album and how torn he is about things, this could be a confused. This is a man at new heights for who he is. No one's apart from Wizkid really. Who else has seen this type of success? Apart from obviously Fela. and-
Yeah, from where we're from. Yeah.
Apart from Fela, that's different. And even then, he was persecuted during the time he's doing it. The thing about
Fela didn't
Burna
enjoy
Boy,
his fame.
in terms of Burna Boy, and he was more loved after he died than when he was alive anyway, in terms of Fela. See, Burna Boy is getting the money, the cars, the rewards in real time. And he has to process this all in real time. So this might be where he's dragged all over the place because there's 1 minute I want to talk about where I'm from with my people. And you know what, the next, I want to talk about having fun. Or
Which is fine.
I was just at a party, or I was talking to this gal, and why can't I be all these things?
But isn't that that's just life in general though?
Exactly.
Because there's them times that again going back to the theme of the album, Love Damini, again, birthday and them things there. It's like one moment I'm introspective in which this is just life in general. Most human beings, like you're introspective, you look around, like even me as a Nigerian that happens to live here now, it's like, okay, cool. Sometimes I think back, like, okay, this is going on in Nigeria, rare. But sometimes I just need a little 2 words. I'm not gonna spoil it because it's 2 very important words, 2 words of the summer. But sometimes you just need I just want to vibe out, I just want to live my life, and it's just one of them things. Burna Boy, again, he's out here doing his thing, whether it's going different kilometers, whether it's out here vibing,
guiding right
or
now, by the
whether
way.
going back to really remember, and it's just like, shit, this is actually going on in Port Harcourt where it's from. This is actually going on back in Niger. It's like, I understand it. Cool. Sequencing and them thing there, we can get into all that as we talk about the album as a whole. But yeah.
And it lends it to the point which I think you now know what I'm going to make. I think you get me.
Oh, 100%.
Yes. But
I think we should just go to the next
it's
song.
time.
This is time.
Now, people, the main event, the thing you've all been waiting for. All the people that got on Afrobeats this year.
This year.
You're a time now, you know. It's time for you lot. Big man thing. That was me last year, so I'm not hating.
Last year.
Or maybe
I
two
had
years
time.
ago.
I was like, nah, bro, way too much for it to just be a year.
I said,
move,
this
man.
is your time
This
now.
is
He said,
your time.
Wake up now. Wake up.
Wake up. And I think it's important to play the last bit of this song because it leads into the
leads into
next
that.
song.
Let's go.
And I think that's important.
Let's go. What, you intro the song and tell them people. Actually, no, they know where it is, man.
No,
they know where it is.
Can I intro it?
Go on.
Go on.
The song of the summer. Undisputed. Potentially the song of the blood clot year.
Most
Even
likely.
Tony Braxton was like, me have to clear this one, you know. It's serious. Blood. Big up Chopsticks, yeah. That's what I forgot to say.
Big up Chopsticks,
I forgot
bro.
to say on Kilometer.
What?
On Kilometer, he did his thing too. He also produced that as well. I forgot to say that on another. But say these 2 songs are Burna Boy's best 2 songs of the year. You already know I'm gonna say the Often remix, Hold Tight Cash, Hold Tight Cranium, everyone that's jumped on it.
Hold tight, our boy Neeks as
Hold
well.
tight,
man.
the
He did
boy
his thing on the
Neeks,
remix.
my brother. So I'm shouting right now because it's a big event. It is the song that has defined the past probably 12 months. Burna Boy, Last. Shayo.
Nothing to discuss.
Cause I did win by default and without any doubt. Hey.
I no go feed take your.
I no go feed take your insult. I put my
Life into my job and I know I'm in trouble.
She manipulate my love.
Oh, I know holy.
And I know that I know.
My eye, oh, don't cry, oh. I need it more and shy, oh.
I don't care how much I've heard this song. I don't care if you're tired of it. Listen to the blood clot song. Are you mad?
Nothing to discuss, oh.
Cause I did win by default and without any doubt.
I no go feed take your insult, oh.
I put my life into my job and I know I'm in trouble. She manipulate my love, oh. That is serious.
I know holy.
My eye, oh, don't cry, oh.
I need a boy and shy, yo. I need a boy and shy, yo. Bro?
Yes, please.
Shy, yo.
I need a boy and
Shy, yo. I need a boy and shy, yo. Shy, yo.
My feelings they swing like Django Lover. Feelings they swing like Django Lover. I feel like a Cholari for Lucky Banner. Feelings they swing like Django Lover. Feelings they swing like Tiffany. Ayo, he was upset. Blood.
Why you say
We're
I
gonna
did
get to
nothing
it.
So you have to do anything you want me to do.
Maybe another time, maybe another life.
You will be my wife and we'll get it
Sing
right.
it.
You don't cast.
Eh?
Last.
What else?
Now everybody got your break. I have to say bye bye yo, bye bye yo
To the love of my life, my eye, oh, don't cry, oh.
I need big boy and shy yo.
What?
I need big boy and shy yo.
What you say?
I need big boy and shy yo.
Tell your girl.
I need it. I said, hey yo.
Whoa. Do you think I am? Alright. No, big up chopsticks. Because people need to go on.
First of all, hold tight, Steph.
Oh yeah, I knew he was gonna do it. I knew he was gonna do it. I knew he was gonna do it.
I'm sorry.
I knew he was gonna do it.
No, like everyone was thinking it. Let's
No,
just say it.
I'm
I'm
not
so
gonna lie.
sorry,
I'm not gonna
bro.
lie.
You
It wasn't
actually
me.
beat me to the punch.
I didn't even think about
I'm sorry,
it.
hold tight,
Crazy.
Steph.
You did.
Because
You beat me.
sometimes,
You
yeah,
genuinely beat me to the punch.
Someone has to break your heart to create genius. I swear to God.
Ah damn.
The best bit I ever made. No, I'm not gonna get.
Can we
it.
start?
That's wild.
Can we?
Ayo, Burna, I don't wish no heartbreak on you, my guy. Listen, you made a great
Man's
song.
wish, but he's already experienced it. He's just he put it out in the song.
I'm sorry
yeah,
you thought that
But
way,
if I
innit?
lost a girl like Steph, I would make a banger as well. I'm so sorry. I'm
crazy.
I'm
God
sorry.
Let's start with the sample.
Yeah.
The amazing Tony Braxton. He wasn't man enough for me.
Bro.
That song, yeah, it is the epitome of,
I'm even now deep in it.
of cis. Your man's a cis. Your man's an idiot. I've had him cis. I've got something to that
Sis,
no,
I'm coming to you
as a woman.
You took the You're. I'm coming to you as a woman, you know.
I'm coming to you
That
as a
is the
woman.
epitome of. Wait, I put that on my snap. I swear I put that on my snap. I said that song is the epitome of cis.
And you did.
I
I
did.
remember.
I'm claiming that. That song is the epitome of cis. I'm coming to you as a woman. Who do you think I am?
Get 80% of that song.
Yes, that's important to know,
80%.
and that's the
And
biggest.
even at that, because I watched the interview with Burna Boy, yeah, it's like even though he's only getting 20% of that, it's his biggest. Like he's made out of all the songs.
He's made more money off that 20%.
20%.
That means that song is making crazy money.
You know how stupid that is.
Yeah. And I think it's important that I'm not just naming it to big up Tony Braxton. I'm saying it in the sense of that's the backdrop he records this over. He's an intelligent man.
When you did, when
The
you-
song
and
is
the
called
name of the
He
song-
Wasn't Man Enough for
Crazy.
Me.
Crazy.
Who he's talking about is who he's talking about. We've already said it.
Mm.
We might have censored it. We might not have. Let's just see how it goes, innit? Cool.
Yeah.
He wasn't man enough for me can be interpreted two ways. I'm not saying this about whoever he was talking about, but it can be interpreted as she's got quite a dominant personality about her. He could be saying it in a very tongue-in-cheek way of, you're not man enough for me. You're not a man. I'm the man. So you could interpret it as that, or you could say it that I'm flipping it and being cheeky of, you may think that, but this is the real story. I'm flipping this song and making it about my heartbreak because she's talking about another woman's heartbreak. That song's so toxic. Imagine a man wrote that song.
Which one?
The original.
Oh, yeah, raw.
No, like about a woman.
Yeah,
Like,
raw.
But this thing is, yeah, this song is so interesting, yeah, because first of all, the song came out like a couple of weeks or so before the album dropped. At first,
nah, it was a bit more than
a
that.
bit more than
I'd
that,
say it's
probably
about a month
even.
or two before
month
that.
or two
Oh, yeah,
before.
okay.
And
At first-
that's what leads to my take you're going to hear later.
Yeah, because I heard the song at first. I'm like, it's alright. At first, I heard the song at first. I was like,
Bare people said that.
it's alright, it's cool. And then I started hearing their motives with speakers blasting and the chorus.
It's different.
And I'm like,
It's different. It is
It's the
different.
charting, because you know what? As a song that had the same sort of effect this year,
Mm.
finesse. If I broke no my business.
Mhm.
When you hear that and you're outside, it is different. And I like this song as soon as it dropped. I didn't say it's among my favorite Burna Boy songs because he put out a bit before Pekalemes. Come then move like
Ballon
No. I'm gonna
You
say
know
my take
Ballon-
on that. Nah, stop. I'm gonna say my take on that.
Ballon
later,
That's
later,
my
later, later,
tune.
later,
That song
later,
grew on
later,
me,
That's
yeah.
my
later,
tune.
Later.
We'll
No,
get it.
because-
Like, that
Yeah,
song
save
grew
it.
on me,
In
you
fact,
know.
no, I will say it now.
That's it.
No, later.
Later. Just let's finish the album first. And we can get
Yeah.
into all that.
Yeah.
Fam, when I tell you that this song to me was good, as you said, you said it was alright. I liked it because I really like smart sampling. And then I heard the lyrics was talking about what he was talking about. I said, oh, he has to be talking about her. That makes sense.
And again, it just go even back to say why the song proper rings up, especially to Nigerians or whatever. Like the phrase "last" is just like, I don't know if you guys know like what "last" actually is.
I
It's
don't,
just like
you know.
it's basically, how do I explain this? It's basically how to just like, well, shit. It's like a shit happens. In,
Shit then,
in-
it
it's like
happened.
shit then in pidgin basically.
That is
It's like, you know what, yeah.
crazy.
Like, cause me and my boys, we say that to ourselves like all the time. Like if some shit happens, like man, last, man.
That's important.
Like that's literally just like man, last. Even the phrase as well. Everybody go chop breakfast.
Yeah.
That's another
That-
thing as well.
And I heard it's like a thing where I'm not sure if it's about heartbreak itself. Is it about heartbreak? Is it kind of like a little
It's
phrase?
Just it's more than heartbreak. It encapsulates so much. Like in this life, yeah. Like it's basically like what you see is what you reward. It's basically like last, life is gonna happen to you in a sense. Where it's just like everybody go chop breakfast. Just like this, like everyone's gonna get hit by it, which is life. Everyone's gonna get hit by life in some way. Be it heartbreak, be it being broke or whatever. Like you don't cast. That's bro. There's so much to
break
go
it down
into
for us,
this
man. We need to
song,
hear this.
bro.
Break it down.
That-
Look,
that
lyrics.
You
bit-
don't
that-
cast like that is why that part of the song is so essential.
Well, go on.
He
Explain.
don't cast last like them things. Just like brother knew exactly what he was doing, bro. He knew exactly what he was doing because you don't cast and last cast basically means the same thing. It's like you don't cast just like oh shit that shit I really wasn't hoping was gonna happen. It's happened now. Last I've explained it. Everybody go chop breakfast, which is like everyone's gonna get hit by life at some point.
Yeah, heartbreak or pain. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. No, and I think the way she manipulated my love, oh, blood. I don't know. As men, yeah, let's have a real honest conversation. JJ, you're part of this as well, yeah. We gotta have an honest conversation. That we've all been hit by situations where you genuinely really love someone, and your love has been taken out of the context it was originally in, A, or B, some stuff has happened has now had to test your love, and now you were the bad guy. That has happened. And as much as we don't want to admit it, because a lot of us, yeah, have been taught to kind of just accept being wrong. Like, we're wrong and they ain't got. Do you know what I mean? It's not a nuanced situation. And I feel he speaks this as another reason why this song resonates. It's not just about generic heartbreak. He's talking about this situation is complex. I'm trying to be honest to her. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to her because I don't think he said anything super disrespectful in this song. I don't think so. I think he was actually quite nice to her, actually. I'm not sure how you guys all feel about it.
I was gonna ask you, do like what he was saying there? Do you relate to that sense of like it's so complex? Like there's so much.
It's more than just.
But
like
I
some
can't-
people-
if I talk,
yeah, 'cause
it's peak.
From the element of this is a heartbreak song and him talking about his part in why the situation went wrong or whatever, that's one thing. A lot of people, me included, even took the heartbreak element out of it and just going back to like the chorus and what the song means, just like life is gonna happen to you at some like life just is like that sometimes, and life just comes hit you at the back of the head. Like that's just whatever. So that's basically in this case would be the situation with Steph. You get me? So when it's like it don't like for a Nigerian to scream, it don't cast last everybody go chop breakfast, which is like, bro, at some point life is just gonna happen, bro. It could be heartbreak, it could be pain, it could be fight, whatever type of way. Life is just gonna happen. So because of that, what you need, Igbo, which obviously means weed. I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
Igbo and
Shayo is
Shayo.
drink alcohol.
Yeah.
It's
you get me?
basically a coping mechanism. And if we're talking about the song title before, it's called what?
whiskey.
And what is the whiskey used for? As a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about sequencing, is that I think it's unfair to say that it's not sequenced well. That is
Not that,
thematic.
not that it's not sequence. So I could have been better. That's my
It
point.
could have definitely been better, but that's thematically amazing. Like, he's talking about, he's currently lamenting the problems of his hometown. Then he gets slapped in the face by this heartbreak, and he has to express it. So he might have had these feelings on his chest for a time. Those lot were together for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
And then a year they both didn't say that. They just stopped being together. This is the first either of them has said anything about anything. So he had to get something off his chest.
Yeah.
And I think the way he did it was amazing because I don't think it was disrespectful.
I wouldn't really say it was. Obviously,
Nah.
just like jabs and.
I think even the jabs were kind of like, I love you, but I don't know if you experienced that with someone where I'm talking about personal situations. No, but I can say it because it's calm.
Go on, bro.
No, I can say
No,
it.
go, say it,
Come
go
on,
of-
bro. Vent. So how did she make you feel?
Well, don't do that.
Nah, hey, wait.
No, I'm saying this of
It's not that episode,
you
bro.
love someone. Yeah. I'm saying you love someone and you think they love you back, or if they do, they do. But you're both doing petty shit, which you know is like, how to explain it? It's both petty, but it's in the sense of it's tit for tat now, and it's not necessarily, I hate you. It's just what's happening, and I think that song encapsulates that feeling perfectly.
Bro, my
And yeah.
journey with this song, yeah. Okay, so I'll say what I was gonna say about Ballon d'Or, Bidor, however you don't want to call it, yeah. That's the song I heard, and I thought from the get-go, I said,
gonna blow.
Bro, this one here.
Song is crazy.
This one here.
Song is crazy.
And then, because I think it came quite before last. Last came, and it went by me because personally, I didn't listen to the lyrics like that. You know me, I'm a beats man. Like, I've just taken the beat for what it is. I heard the sample, I thought, okay, cool, nice. Like, would you, same reaction? It's alright. Like, it's calm. And then slowly and surely, there were bits of it that I was getting told about. So, when I first heard like Igbo and Shayo, that's weed and alcohol. That was me learning it for the first time. I said,
Okay.
oh, okay.
Add a different context.
It's added context to it, but not enough for me to know that was the song that was about Steph. So when I first heard it on face value, I said, it's kind of like a turn-up song. And at that point as well, it was getting a lot more popular. People were singing about it. People were praising it, saying, this song is this the song. I was like, I still don't get it. But then after getting the context of what the song was really about, and slowly and surely, like the things that were popping up about it, I was like, oh, this one is very much carefully, like, this one is the one where it's actually like really, really thought, everything about it actually made sense. And coming to today where I'm now hearing the context behind like the start of the song, the actual sample itself, I don't know how I didn't put it together, but he wasn't man enough for me. He flipped that, turned it into a song about, I was like, yeah,
And
you know what?
And that's what I'm talking about. That's the point I was trying to make about the cheeky love taps. Yes, I love you, but she might have said that to. We don't know any of this, by the way. She might have said this,
You could.
and now he can flip the song and say, "Oh, is it?" And she's gonna hear this wherever she goes. She can't escape this song. She's been asked about it. She's had her answer. She's given her answer about it. And I
What
think
did she say about it? Actually, because I'm curious.
she said it's defo about her, and she kept it quite respectful. Again, you can tell that there's still not something there, but you know what I mean, innit?
Something, as in there's like
Those
a little,
feelings don't go away, bro.
Nah,
I'm gonna be on. I'm just keep speaking honestly on this platform. Is that when those feelings are still there and it's still up in the air, and you finally see each other, particularly after a long time, it's like, I'm gonna do that little jab, and it's not anything malicious. It's literally like, you said this, okay, cool. I'm gonna act that's what it is. I'm acting accordingly. So you're moving like that, say nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Is there a feeling of like, you said your piece, can I say man, kind of thing?
Guess so, but she didn't say anything publicly, but she might have cursed him out.
No. So this song to her now, it wasn't necessarily to her, but it was just to put it out there, and you know she knows what it's about. I'm saying like, if she says something in the background, is that him coming and say like, I'm gonna say my piece now?
Yeah, and it's also for her. She could be saying you're lying, because on that interview, she said there was a couple things that he said that he's lying.
Was it the recent one she did?
Yeah.
Okay.
But even then, she said, you could tell the song, she wasn't angered by the song. It was more like, do you know what I mean? That's that sort of reaction of, it is what it is.
That thing of it is
Last,
what it is.
innit? The same last.
Is the way that adds to the element of like bro is in heartbreak, but he's singing about, look, I'm gonna just
Like, you know what?
need the alcohol, man. I'm gonna just do my. It is what it is, bro. That's sad.
The funny thing
That
is
It's dark.
Really
the funny
sad.
thing is that
And
you know how
this is a dark album.
It's very Nah, getting into it is
Very dark album, but please continue.
you know the thing, that's actually so funny is like Burna Boy even still kind of threw in like his political element in it, because the second verse it literally starts off. It was like, I was in Port Harcourt when they killed Soboma. Soboma was a freedom fighter. He died in 2010. So he was still there doing his thing, whatever. And then he goes on to continue talking about his feelings. Like, my feelings, they swing like Django in Pidgin. That's like a swing.
yeah.
Yeah, of
Like,
course.
that's like a playground swing or whatever. And then he starts going in again. He's like, oh, I've been going through. Like, he talks about so much. Like, okay, my feelings did this. And then there was the time in Nigeria I crashed my Ferrari. And
Crash
then
a
it's
Ferrari,
like, now
family,
you've
keep
broken my
on.
heart. So him is just talking, like, he's just pouring himself out in a sense.
That's
And it's just like,
important.
Wow.
bro. Like, it's just like, oh, this is happening to me, but you know what? Yeah, it don't cast. That shit's happened. Last.
I wonder what. Sorry, I was gonna say. I wonder what state of mind he was in when writing this.
He's probably
because
drunk and high.
He must have
That's-
been.
And
sad,
also,
you know.
you gotta
Yeah.
recall the last song before that was Whiskey, where he, as I said, lamenting about his home situation, about this is in my hometown, this is what's going on, and now I gotta deal with this, and I'm as you said, swinging back and forth between I need to care about this because this is what A, my brand on, but B, I actually personally care, and B, this is personal. This is I love this woman.
I want to ask you guys a question. Let me see how proper you guys are into this, yeah? How important do you guys rate or see album covers before you listen to an album, before you're taking an album?
I think it does have some semblance of importance.
Now, look at the Burna Boy thing.
Yeah, he's upset. And that's what I was. Oh, you took. That's what I was gonna say that at the end, yeah. But thank you.
Shit.
Let's get into it now, yeah, quickly.
Shit.
He look at him. His face is exasperated. He's tired.
He was
He's
over it.
bored. He's
But
done.
what's around him? He has the birthday hat on. It's supposed to be a celebration, but
Celebration,
he's
yeah.
just sad. You get me?
And that's what the darkness of this album comes from. Is all the pressures of instant fame, because we got our people. This is not Burna Boy's first time at the rodeo. Last is not his first hit single. Yay, as we were saying, all the other big hits. He's a big star in Africa, outside Africa before this. But now this is height, and he's like, I gotta deal with all this shit, and this is meant to be the happiest time of my life.
Life in a dog.
crazy.
And but once you once you pre the album, it makes more sense. And I still have my take of how it was put together, how quickly it was put together, and I'll get to that. But I think you're right. I think he's literally just sad, thinking, this is meant to be the happiest point of my life. Why do I feel like this? And he tries to explain it on album. Do you know what I mean?
That's literally it. That's what I felt about it as well. Because, like I said, it takes a real artist, a real people that take care of the art, really care about it. Yeah, that's why I felt like that bit was so important, like to cite like the album cover, yeah, because that's basically like the best summary you can get for what the album was, which is just like, oh, as much as like last proper is the best summary for the album in a sense because it's like okay, cool. I should be happy, right? Like, bro, I'm the most successful I've ever been. I'm selling out stadiums everywhere, but I'm heartbroken. Nigeria is still very much Nigeria, and just other problems in life, i.e., people just hating on me for whatever reason. That's just Burna Boy being Burna Boy, and obviously legal stuff and right. But yeah, I feel like that was like the general message of what the album was. How well it executed it for the other songs. Because I'll be real, and I'm even gonna say I don't know how long this episode has gone on, yeah, but a lot of the best songs on this album, we've listened to them. I'll be so
what?
honest,
Yeah,
bro.
what?
It gets into the second half, and boy, it gets scary. Let's just say that.
Bro, there were like 2 songs that I can actually genuinely pick up from the second half and I was just like, you know what, these are proper. The rest, literally, we're just gonna be playing.
Let's get into them now. Let's get into them now. So the next song after last, we have got. I'm gonna get the name up here. Different Size.
This feature's cold.
Man really sampled Squid Game, you know.
I didn't know that.
You haven't watched Squid Game?
Of course I haven't.
I've heard the actual.
Of
sample.
course I haven't. I have things to do.
Can't argue with that. Man just called me
basically
jobless.
He said I have better things to do. That's what he meant. That's what he meant.
I didn't say that.
But you said it.
This is experimenting in his sound, by the way.
Yeah. Your side of what? What? Squid Game. Is it Japanese or Korean?
I think it's Korean.
It's Korean, yeah. So, you know what he's doing though? Because that's super recognizable. Everyone's gonna.
Almost a year after though.
Yeah. But even
Yeah,
at that, it's like.
still recognizable.
But
Very,
Like,
very
I knew it
recognizable.
only because I've heard it before. Like,
Yeah.
I've heard.
The second I heard it, I knew exactly what it was.
I was gonna say that in terms of album creation, they take a long time to come together.
Oh no, yeah.
In terms of these songs, even in my take I'm going to give you lot, it might sound like I'm going to contradict what I'm going to say, but it's leading into what I'm saying because these songs were probably recorded, a lot of them last year. How many?
Definitely.
How many were recorded and what's been left off and what is on leads to my take at the end. But I'm just saying that this having a sample from a show last year isn't that foreign. It isn't that outside of the realm of possibility.
A lot of tunes that 1,000,000% were recorded last year, bro.
And
1,000,000%.
you can kind of hear it because nothing has touched on anything recent. Obviously, you can't in terms of legally now of his most recent situation. But even other stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's someone that likes to talk. Most artists like to talk, but on record, he's someone that likes to talk. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I love about Bum Bum fam. Yeah,
Oh, sorry, I forgot to say the feature on that. Vic Tony.
Vic Tony is cold.
Is it Vic Tony?
Yep.
Yeah,
Big Tony, okay.
he's also on the feature with Holy Father, big song.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's probably the best part of this song, if I'm being honest.
No,
Before
100%.
I even get to my... What do you guys think of this song? Realistically.
I really like it. I think it's cold.
I
it's very dope.
think he's got better songs in this style. So there's the Zumba remix, the Yaba Baluk is more so in the
More engaging.
more engaging. His features, I think, if he's gonna make a song like this, he's got to bring that energy to the song. This sounds like he just was floating on this. It's not bad.
Would you say he allowed the space for Vic Tony to come on?
Yeah,
the video
I
scene?
think
'Cause
he allowed him to eat.
I think there's songs I've heard on other albums where artists have done that, like an artist the size of Burna Boy. Actually, I don't know how big Victoni is. Or
He's not small, but he's not.
He's
He's
coming
not
up.
He's not at that
among the top, even
Yeah.
amongst the Fire Boys or Sake.
Oh, no,
he's
no,
not in
he's
that
not
realm
there.
Okay,
either.
cool. So then I've heard songs like that where other artists have like allowed the space for other artists to come on and be like, "Yo, take over this song. Obviously, it's my song. I would do my thing on it." But
I
your
think
time to
that's what
shine, innit?
happened, but I still think it's a bit lazy to not come and kill everything as Burna Boy. You should aim to do that.
You wanna
Yeah.
ask me my take on
Go
this
on, go
thing,
on, go
yeah?
on.
This was a filler song, bro. As much as Victoria is cold, I genuinely feel like this is just filler for the album.
And this will lead into my final take, which I think
I genuinely feel like this was filler. Like, this is, because obviously you might have worked with artists and them thing. Like, what there's them songs where the artist is just kind of nonchalant. It's just like, let's just kind of put this album together type thing. It's just like, it's an okay song. It's a vibe, yeah, and I could listen to it. I won't say it's terrible because it's not. I don't think there's a terrible song on this album. But in general, I just feel it's just one of them songs where it just came up. But it's good for Victoni's sake that he is the standout of the song.
is a big look in it.
Yeah, it's a massive look, bro. But at the end of the day, it's just like for me, and even what I even know Victoni can do, it's like this is just one of them songs. Just like I listened to it once. There's nothing in there that I can really like for me to go back to.
like
you
it
get
can
me?
pass you by and you'll be like,
Yeah, it could pass me by completely. Because them songs like someone you can hear on the radio, just like stop that, grab my phone, Shazam type thing.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's just one of them songs where it's just like, I get what you're trying to go for. Obviously, you got the viral sample thing, whatever, and it still didn't work. So,
I mean, I kind of think the sample because it started, yeah, and I didn't hear it until like a little bit later. I heard it and then I was like, oh, it's still going throughout. I could, okay, cool.
yeah, sample
Like it's in key with the actual beat itself.
I really think he's trying to grab a new audience with this song. Honestly,
because you know how a lot of people, like, this is music science, obviously, you guys know. A lot of people, the reason why you sample songs is to derive a feeling that, that you must have gotten from listening to an original
Like
thing.
nostalgia.
Like, Drake's Nice for What? You get me?
it's sampling in the same style. It's the
Yeah.
same as. Let me find a good example of a sample.
Like
Even for Kanye, like when he did "Are You Gonna Be," it's slow jam. The song's called Slow Jams. I'm sampling a slow jam to evoke, recapture the feeling of
Like
a slow
the
jam.
same emotion, yeah.
And that's why most sampling today doesn't make sense. Man are just sampling songs that were hot in 2000, 2001, late 90s, and just saying,
but then,
Sorry,
It's
come on,
work-
forward.
pardon? But the thing is, yeah, it's working to an extent. Like, look at Artie. Artie isn't saying shit, bro. But most of his songs, what are they? Sampled of 2000s bangers and whatever. That familiarity with the beat, you kind of get to like the song because that sample is taking you back to how you felt when you listened to the original, which also kind of contributes. Like, again, it's like Drake's Nice for What. I forgot the Lauryn Hill song is sample, but
X Factor.
X Factor,
I
thank
keep
you.
letting you
Yeah.
back in.
A lot of reason why I even like that song, as much as a banger, it's a great song. Again, you can't unhear that Lauryn Hill sample. It takes me back to how I felt the first time I listened to X Factor. You get me? And now there's this song where it's like I don't feel anything, but at the same time, it's that element of like I'm gonna put a sound, the most recognizable soundbite from the biggest show of last year, and just say
I
whatever.
want to know who produced this. Who produced it?
Yeah, you found out.
I'll check.
Yeah, and
Give me
just
a
say
second.
like this is just one of those songs that just came and went for me. You get me?
Produced by King Vinci,
King Vinci,
who's
Shout out
not
to King
really
Vinci.
a known name, but hold tight, you bro.
I'll tell you, bro.
I think he can do.
It's a
this
nice
sound.
beat.
He can do this sound better. I've heard him kill this sound, destroy the sound.
I can hear that, especially in the context of like Burna Boy as an artist that we see a lot. We see like what he's done and what he can do as well.
Yeah.
Like leveling up. If you're gonna do this, you gotta level it up to a point where every song is hitting and every song that you can come back to is like, yeah, I'm.
But it doesn't have to be even that. There's
Or
thought.
just-
There's
yeah.
thought. This song had no thought into it. It's literally like, as I said, gliding, floating over the rhythm. And the standout is Victoni. By far. It's not even a conversation to me.
Yeah.
And I think, as you said, the point about it being filler, it will circle back to my point that I'm going to make later. But next song.
tune.
Next song we are going to go on to is It's Plenty.
I kind of like this, to be honest.
Ooh. Shout out to J5, by the way.
J5. I really like that song.
You like that song?
That's
yeah?
my second favorite song on the album.
I think
Serious.
big up J5. It's probably not the strongest J5 and I'm holding J5 to a very, very,
We all
very,
do, man. Come on.
very-
that's J5.
Yo, let me say this one more time. Very, 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 very high standard. Potentially the best UK producer, maybe of all time.
You can make the
Said a
argument.
bit.
You can make the
Said a
argument.
bit,
It's a
yes.
very,
But-
it's easily the most influential.
One of.
So hold on, okay. Your second favorite, did you say, of
Yeah,
this album?
my second
And
favorite.
you for you?
One of is up there. I can't think because we've listened to so many
This
songs.
is such a good song.
I
bro.
think
I say me. It's not up there for me.
the actual main standout of this song is Burna Boy. The tone, the vocal delivery, everything is just making sense.
It just makes me happy.
And it's good to hear him happy.
Yeah.
That side of it, I liked it because I heard it only the other day because the video came out for it, and I thought, ooh, this one's like, bro, he's just celebrating. He's like,
That's the best
what
bit
he wants to
about
come
it,
across
innit?
as.
And I'm glad you guys got that because again, this is just me dissecting lyrics in Yoruba and them things there. Intro, Bemi Trabaye make you do the shalaye, which basically kind of means like, yo, I've gone from a low point to a high point. I'm going from a low point to a high point in life, make you know the shalaye, which means like, don't talk too much right now, like I'm vibing.
Uh-huh.
You get me? That's what shalaye basically means. This part is a little bit ableist, but whatever. Like when it says, I don't want nobody to give my matter K-leg. K-leg is like a defect. It's a leg defect.
And it's mad because he did the same thing during Whiskey, but us lot didn't speak about it.
Fair enough.
What was that?
He said something along like it's whiskey, but no disability.
Oh, yeah.
He did the same thing.
Yeah, so when it says, I don't want nobody to give my matter K-leg, it's basically kind of says that I don't want anybody to give my situation or my
To be
life
fair,
right now any defects or any problems. You get
it
me?
doesn't have to be literal though.
Yeah, I know. Like of Nigeria, like Nigerians say that all the time. Like, bro, like if I'm just speaking pidgin now, for example, Nigerian they probably say something that's like, oh, this did not give my matter Lego, which is just kind of just like, oh, like my situation has just gone up and bullshit. You get me? So I'm not saying it's directly ableist because a Nigerian can hear what you're saying and be like, okay, I get what you mean. But obviously, just talking like outside ears or whatever, I don't even have a problem with him saying it because I've probably said it bad times when I'm talking to my Nigerian friends. But yeah, that's just extra context for people that don't know what it means for a matter to go K-leg.
Do you think if people were to pick that up, and we talked about him trying to reach a Western audience, if there are people that really, really get into a song and they really pick things up like that, like
No,
I doubt it's a
and
thing to
no
get
one is gonna
cancelled
say
for.
because again,
not even like they're
the
gonna pick up and
context
be like,
is
"Bruh, what's he
the
saying like
matter.
that?"
This matter, no. So it's not a human being. He's not saying this person.
Uh-huh.
It's not. It's not. So I'm not saying it's not ableist, but I'm saying it's not something that needs to be as if he's
Dissect-
disparaging
like, I feel
someone.
Like
it would
disparage
be
or anything.
too much for if society was to grab what he was saying and be like, "Oh, you're ableist." It's like, no, like that's just typical Nigerian slang. Bro.
I'm gonna be honest. This is similar to the situation with Lizzo. We're not gonna harken on it. It's similar.
What situation is this?
I'm not. You know, in hip hop, there's slang, right?
Yeah.
And there's slang which says, "I'm gonna go." I'm not saying this.
Oh,
I'm,
I know
I'm
exactly
referencing
what you're talking
something.
I
about.
don't know. What it was.
The word that
Whatever
she
the
used,
word
yeah.
is,
Yeah,
we know
I
the
what you
word.
mean, Yeah.
And
Oh,
I know
they
exactly what you're talking
completely
about.
took her out of context.
I thought that was ridiculous, bro. I thought that was so.
Yeah, I just did it then. My bad. Yeah. Can't find another word.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it wasn't
Nah,
even.
I
Like,
hear
I
that.
thought that was ridiculous because, bro, that word has been used forever. In fact, sometimes that specific word, I'm not gonna say it, has been used for years. Like if someone like shout out a perfect 16, it's like, oh my man, you on that.
You're
verse.
doing that thing.
You get me?
And even
Like-
with that, I think it was done to set an example of you Negroes. you think you can step out of line? Watch. Because she's someone who towed the line. She's not even a troublemaker.
At all.
You can make arguments for, this one, look at the baby. He's fighting people. He's doing it. So he's a troublemaker. She's done everything to colour in the lines. The moment that they deemed her to colour outside the lines, she had to put apology, had to take the lyric off. That is institutional power. That's what happens.
Done took the lyric off and everything. That's
Yeah.
good.
Re-recorded the song, bro.
As in gone to. Wow.
That.
What song were we talking about, by the way? Because
I don't know the name of the song. I just heard the lyric. All I'm gonna say is that keeping it on topic, yeah. Black people know how to organize amongst yourself. So when things offend you, you can have that same power.
what are you saying for Dirty Secrets? Was that one that you lot was like? Because I got to
Play it
Tony
again.
and Sing, and I thought
I felt like I liked this.
this one I did like, but it still kind of passed me a bit. But I was like, no, I'm feeling.
I
it.
don't think there's much to dissect though. What are you lot thinking?
Let me see lyrically what you were saying.
I don't think you were saying anything super duper of note.
He wasn't.
Nah.
But I kind of like. It's a nice melody though.
No, it's nice. It's nice.
But that's something that is consistent with the album. As far as melodies, consistent.
But again, that's the
vibey, bro.
top tier musicianship.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
cool.
it's a vibe. You can play it through and not understand a word he's saying, but still be like, this makes me feel good. You get me? But then when you're dissecting lyrics, when you're trying to go into thematic plays, when you're trying to, things that we do, things we enjoy, you get me? That's when you can start going into every knot and cross and try to proper dissect it. But if you're just a vibes man that don't care about lyrics,
You're
and
gonna
them
love
things,
this album.
You love this
You're
album.
gonna love this album
You
because
love
it's
Burna Boy's entire
hun-
discography.
100% vibes, and that's why I think I keep alluding to it because this is what you do. You have to build up because when you make the point, it's gonna
It's
land.
gonna hit different.
Because I'm not saying anything super profound, I think it's just common sense of the timeline of his year for him. This year's been crazy for him.
It's been a mad
And
thing for
also,
him, bro.
another thing to add to my point, he signed to a major.
Yes.
Very important point there.
We're gonna get into that. I want to address that in the end.
Yeah, that's why I'm leaving my point to the end, so you can basically come back off the back of it. And
Yeah.
The
Next
next
song.
song, Tony and Sing.
Whip.
This one, as soon as I heard it, I dropped it on one of my playlists. In fact, I
Trouble?
made a playlist with that one. That was the first one I
Trouble?
put on there. I said, yeah.
Yo,
We're gonna, I'm
feet
dead.
unruly London. Ay. Say yo.
Wait, I can't.
Say bombo clap.
Bombo clan.
There was a snap
I
he
don't
took
use the
there.
I was there.
He was
I was there.
moving like
I
a
was there.
consummate. How can I
Just
say?
say the word, man.
A consummate.
Nah, say the word. Say the word. We're gonna say something else.
Count consummate bad B. I'll say that. Consummate. You was like
You wanted to say whore,
bombo
but it's fine.
clap. Huh? You was a comedian. that
Tony and Sing featuring Popcorn. Let's go.
Whip, trouble, feet, unruly bars. Woyoy.
You might as well have been on the record. Giving all the ad-libs.
Love you bad. Whip, trouble. What we sing say? Tony and Sing. Without the why you waste me down trouble? Hey, no but pandy railing, boy. Yeah, I'm in the line with the talk. He got the pockets on this right, For me now,
He did.
the pockets are serious. Over the seas, he hit every pocket in his beat.
Drums, bro.
Every pocket of this beat he was in. Blood.
Yeah.
One, two. Oh, what you sing, say? Tony and Sing. Trouble? Bend over pan the railing. Turn, you know what? He's to turn the girl like a steering wheel. Blood.
Yeah, hard.
Alright.
It's a good song.
The song title is referring to Tony
Popcorn
and Sing.
lady.
Well, I'll tell you this. Whatever answer, let me say this properly. Whatever answer Popcorn says is the answer we're going with. If he says he has 25 million gal, he's got 25 million gal.
mad.
If he says that's his woman, that's his woman. And you can't go around it. You know why? Black men don't cheat. You get me?
Come on.
Bap. Crazy,
They're gonna kill
crazy
us
song.
in the comments for
word.
that one, yeah. They're gonna kill us in the comments for that one still.
Could never.
Hey, it's your
Oh,
show.
he's wrong. No. Crazy.
Bro, I just did the voice store. That's crazy.
You're
You
in
do it every
you're
show.
in trouble.
Nah, he.
You do it as
honestly-
well, man. Don't try to take the blame
What,
off.
me? What voice are you
Even this one, even
referring
this one,
to?
even this one.
Basically, yeah.
But nah, man.
Yeah, Tony Ansing is referring to Popcorn's current, maybe his woman, maybe one of his women. We don't know. Again, I'm going with his answer. Whatever he says goes. She's a former Miss World. So she's Jamaican and Indian. That's hence the name Tony Ansing. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, she is pretty. What was it like? So it makes sense, innit? She was born in 1996, you know, man.
It's such a singable name as well.
She was born in 1996, brother.
Wait.
Huh?
Yeah, she's 26.
Trouble?
Is it?
I'm not gonna address them things there. God bless both of them. 96.
love.
Flippy.
But yeah, nah, honestly, wicked chorus. It
Is.
goes off
It's
outside.
such a singable name as well. Shout out to the and say that's such a singable name.
Yeah.
Word. No, word.
And also, it's mad because people have been saying, I love the chorus by Popcorn. People haven't been praising. Burna Boy went in on this song, bro.
Nah,
He did.
The
The
pockets.
Yeah.
Obviously, he weren't talking about anybody, so it's not as caption worthy or Instagram worthy.
Yeah.
But the pockets he got into, melodies, the rhyme schemes wasn't anything too complex because it's hard really to do rapping on these type of beats. You know what I mean, with the rhyme schemes, but it was very much on point.
Yeah.
Nice, honestly. But my one critique of the song: why did he swear at the end and lie and say, "Oh, I wasn't fucking done"? You're lying. You was done, bro. You was done. The song was finished.
Let me play that.
Bro, am I chatting shit?
That's such a petty critique.
Nah, listen to it. That harmony is amazing, by the way. Sing the hook now. Sing the hook. He was done. The song was done. No one kept it in there. That man, they love tell lie.
Do you what? You know something that kind of adds to your point. Cause when I was questioning the sequencing, and you said, "Is this intentional?" The way it's kind of sprayed about and that, like he's kind of just on the thing of, "Bro, I'm recording. What you lot doing? Like, let me do my thing."
And he's under pressure. This whole album,
He's
a constant theme of this album is Burna Boy is under pressure.
That was me just defending that bit of the song because I actually
maybe
do like
that
the song.
outro just kind of adds to the darkness of this album.
You know what I'm saying?
It definitely does.
You know what I'm saying?
It definitely does.
But yeah, therefore, bro, that was on the playlist, man.
We love that
can be on
song.
my playlist.
Lyrically, big up Unruly Boss. Me, I just want to say this. As the official, unofficial, unruly minister of all the good youths in London, we salute this record. It's cold.
Yes, we do.
You're not a serious guy.
Experimentation podcast.
Trouble?
This one. For me, that was the half of the album where it was like, yeah, cold.
Proper.
Rest of this one, and where you said about the sequencing, it is intentionally put that way, yeah. For the first half of the
I
album,
think this, by the way. I don't know.
Okay,
This is
nah,
what I
yeah.
think.
yeah. So that through there, I'm with it. If we're talking about this half, if we're talking about that half of the album we just went through, I'm with it. This next half though,
Please intro the next song.
solid, featuring Blast and Kelani.
Aye, I just want to quickly say, hold tight, Blast.
Why'd you keep saying? What's going on? That was
What did Blast
violent.
do to you?
I lied.
It's not. Oh, well, it's just at the end of the album, bro.
Imagine we're at the end. Imagine the album's done.
God damn.
I genuinely like this song and big up Blast because he part produced this as well.
No, big up Blast as an artist, big him up.
Aye, someone, aye, label people, get me to the Blast show. Sort it
I
out.
may or may not be going to the show.
So, no. Sort me out going to the Blanche show. I need to go. You get me? Man them, and I'll see if I can bring you, probably not in it, but I'll try.
Probably.
I'll
Hell
try
nah,
it.
man. I'm going. Don't watch that.
The drums are heavy, but kind of mixed. Now I'm like, solid. This is what I was talking about, by the way. You got it. I'll keep it solid. Eee. Come on. That's right. I love that, dude. Chee. I think that's enough.
You spoke about it earlier.
My main critique of quite a bit of this album is the silly American accent.
You see with this one, when I heard it, yeah,
And I really like this song.
and he got into it,
I really like this song.
and I heard him say that little. There was a little bit where I was like, "You trying like we know Blast is on the song. Why you're trying to match him? What you doing?"
no, he's not even much.
Facts though.
No.
Facts, though, you're right.
Because when I first heard it, I thought, okay, is he trying to match him with this song? Because we know that Blast is on this song. We know that this is a Blast. Like you hear the instrumental, if you know about Blast and you know about
You
what
know
he does,
that this is
you
a
know
Blast sound.
This is a Blast sound. So when I heard him do that, I thought, are you trying to match Blast? Because that was unnecessary, bro. That was very
And-
unnecessary.
Hold tight, Blast. He has a way of appearing on other man's songs and making them look regular. As
What's
in,
that one song with
Don't make me wait too long.
not that
Five
one.
looking shots are way too. That's my song.
The two guys from Manchester. What's their names?
Oh, I need an island girl by an iceberg. I mean, kill up.
Hard. He went on that
I
hard.
just touched down Cabo. Gotta change the currency.
Bro.
A place that
Cold.
Blood.
But
You
back to
guys are
Burna Boy.
blast fans,
It's it just did it because this is when I say this half of the album, I mean it like okay, and now I'm looking at the features, I'm looking at the instrumentals, I'm looking at what has been placed where, and it's like
Say it. Say what you're gonna. I
Say,
think
bro.
I know what you're gonna say. Because I think
I don't know if it's the same thing. I think like where it could have gone and what he could have done with it, yeah, he didn't do. This felt more like a placement label thing.
we're saying the same thing.
It weren't
We was all gonna say the
really-
same. We had all the same thought just there.
Yeah, that it didn't need to be there, but
That was the label A&R. Like, yeah, put that there. Yeah, make that one still. Put that one there. Right.
This side
She's gonna feel
is
that one,
all
and they did it.
Atlantic.
bro,
All of it.
All of
Yeah.
it. Yeah, completely.
I mean all of it. Because think about who he's worked with in the last year. Asake, Black Sheriff. All these. Could have put all these. There's so many amazing young artists coming out of Africa. All people he's done stuff with before. A Stone Boy. And this one who could have littered this album with if he was going to have bare. Because this album has bare features.
yeah.
That's another critique that if we are going to be hard. It's got a lot of features on it.
yeah.
But would you say, because if we talk about this half of the album, that's where the features kind of like they come in and it's like it's unnecessary, or it's like it's the label saying
It just doesn't feel natural. It feels as if, why are these two people on a song? Even though on paper you say, on paper you'd say Blast and Burna Boy, what? But sonically they sound nice together.
no, it worked.
Yeah.
It worked a lot. But I'm saying the other ones are like, blood. Who sanctioned this?
The Ed Sheeran one, I think, because they've collaborated before.
I don't care.
No. I'm not saying it as if it worked or anything. I'm saying the Ed Sheeran one. The Ed Sheeran one, that was there probably because they have that relationship. They're good with each other. Whatever is done. The J Balvin one, where did that come from? I don't know.
He needs the streams. With the utmost respect. he needs the streams. What are we doing, brother? We gotta have an honest conversation. Like, this is what.
I hate this guy.
What? Am I not being honest?
You're right.
Hey man.
I did have to
Hey
say.
man, if we do this, man, hey man, it's gonna be good for you and me.
Why are you doing the fake American accent? You didn't need to do that.
It's gonna be good for you and me. Nah.
Am I lying?
Yeah.
I think it's important to put things in perspective. Like all the little
I'm
tricks.
still not over the way you said I don't care about that Ed Sheeran record because, bro, same.
Thank you.
I don't-
We're gonna be honest here.
Sorry, me neither.
No,
I'm
go.
saying
We
that,
have
me
to play it
neither.
because we're being fair. But we're coming out
do
of
we
that
have
after
to?
like third.
No, because I'm skipping
Oh,
that J Balvin one. I'm not gonna lie. That one
if we
can get
do-
skipped.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So no, I'll tell you,
Bro, I rate you so much because I was about
That's
to say,
funny,
do we
that's
have
funny.
to play
I'll
that?
tell you why.
We're not playing that.
Because now I'm not just the bad guy. Me one. It's the experimentation podcast. We don't like that song. We're not fucking playing it. Anyway, and also he's been everywhere. The reason why, on top of that, I'm also tired of him. H's album, he's there. The DBE album,
You
he's
can't
there.
miss him, bro.
So I know Stormzy's gonna have like 3 Ed Sheeran features like on this next album.
Excessive. I don't think he'll be free. I don't think he'll be free.
You'll be there, though.
He'll be there. Let's not lie. He'll be there.
That you just proved my point.
He'll be there, though.
He'll be there.
Don't get fucked up. He's gonna be there.
But yeah, I think it's hard because now I'm trying to flip it and not view it from my perspective. If I'm being fair, he has to do this.
Yeah.
He's now a global international artist.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna get asked for global international collaborations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Khalid helped make his label 8 to 9 figures through his time being there.
Makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
Big artist there.
The big records. Send me.
Sorry, as in, yeah. Big
and
records.
put in a 5. I'll be on. That song's hard. I'll be on the way. You know that song?
Do I?
Yes, you should.
That song's a
you
that
got-
song's actually a
I
banger.
feel like when he sings, he doesn't do it justice because I hear it and I'm like,
Fucking hell.
That's hate.
I won't
No,
have
that's
that.
not hate.
people
I'm
that-
just saying.
I wouldn't have that.
Just
That's
saying.
hate.
Personally,
That is hate.
I've been on the phone with him and
That
he's
is
singing the
hate.
song and I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like,
That's hate. Ohiz, I'm glad you witnessed
And
that.
then I
That's
got
hate.
to play the song and I'm like,
That's
this
hate.
is not the song you were
That's hate.
singing.
Hey,
Hey,
Martin, why is he singing to you on the phone?
right? No,
do
that's
do
wild.
that.
That's
Ah,
wild.
you wanna
That's
get-
wild. That's wild.
No,
Nah, let's not do
That's
that.
cool. Touche.
That's crazy, man. That's,
Aye.
You know it's love. You know it's love. You guys know.
Yeah, it's all
you might know
love.
what it
All
is.
I'm saying is that me, I'm a comedian, brother. I'm not a funny guy.
yeah. When we come to your platform, bro.
You might already cook me on my team. What are you talking about?
No. We didn't cook you. We didn't cook you. We could, bro.
You might cook me the last time I was
my
here.
brother, if Fanny, you know, my guy.
Come on, bro. That's my
Yeah,
guy.
man.
Come on, bro. Wherever he is right now, he's probably somewhere. Well, I'm not gonna give out locations, but
I lie. Let's not. Let's not.
if I shower you, bro.
What's the next song?
So the Ed Sheeran one, innit? For my hand. I'm not gonna play it.
These lot spent the whole they spent the whole song harmonizing together. Why?
No, that's him. That's him.
Now, if I said it,
Man, can't.
Why?
if I said why,
You came onto our platform and said that's different. Isn't it? You know what I'm saying? But
you're-
nah.
You was thinking it though.
You're stupid, but I said what?
Am I lying? Nah, Burna Boy. Honestly, I do love this album, but some of this is just fuckeries, blood.
It's not even that I don't like. No, I don't like the song, and it's not even that the song is bad. It's just it's unnecessary.
It doesn't
Let me
fit.
explain this.
Doesn't
Let me
fit.
explain this last half of the album. Yeah, you know when you're driving to a motive with your boys, yeah, you guys are bumping tunes, whatever. It's a vibe as you're speeding through. Yeah, but all of a sudden there's traffic, and the vibe is just kind of slowly dying
You're
out.
an idiot.
It's like,
You
fuck
are an idiot. You're an imbecile right now.
I couldn't. That's it. Traffic.
There's just bare
Man
traffic
said
in
it
a-
is sitting there and it's the same dancehall miss.
No, it's traffic. You decided to switch it up and give the aux to the guy with zero music taste. You just have to give him a shot, yeah? That's what the slide half is.
And then it's sad, so he plugs in his phone and then it's wavy. Smash!
And there's traffic as well, so everyone's vexed.
Everyone's already pissed off.
Roller coaster. We're not playing that song.
I read. Why are we playing that for?
Playing that
Do you want to play it? Roller
No.
coaster. Oh, good. Okay.
I'm
sorry.
so glad, yeah. We gotta start doing more album reviews like this. Do you know how much time we save?
Yeah, my word, 100%. What did you lot think of Vanilla?
I liked it.
Because I kind of.
I liked it. And don't get twisted. It's low on my favorites, but I think I want to hear Afrobeat, but I don't want to hear new Burner, bruv. I want to hear the
What did you think of it? Sorry.
Again, one of them songs that I understand. It sounds good, but I can hear it once and I don't
Pass it by.
have to hear it again.
I'm gonna be
Pass
honest.
it by.
There's nothing that makes you come back apart from the beat and the melody.
Even then.
And even then, it's not crazy by Bert. And guys who are watching this year and in the room, we're judging this by Burna Boy standards.
Like his standards, bro.
We're,
Another artist could drop this. I'm like, this is cool.
It's good for you.
Good for you.
And-
Because
please keep in mind, this is where all our critiques stem from. We're judging him by megastar standards. Because he's a megastar.
Common Person, I did like. Not crazy liked it, but I did like.
I kind of like
I
Common
liked it
Person.
still.
And I think it's worth a play.
Can I?
Yeah.
Let's see it. Let's
I
go.
think
I
it's
liked
worth a
it.
play.
I
Common
like
Person.
Common
Let's play that one.
Bangala. Huh? We skip through bare songs. Yeah, because it's meaty.
You don't respect the thing.
Nah, but when you see the songs we skipped, you'll be like, okay.
This song's hard.
I love the song, to be fair. No,
I want to
actually,
know
listen
who's like harmonizing as well on the top.
I'm presuming it's him.
No, the woman. There was a girl.
Oh, the woman. I don't know. Person.
Yeah, I tried to play a little bit of it. I can literally just imagine like passing through, like if I'm in Uganda, you're driving through. This song's play.
That's the perfect way
that's
to
it.
describe it. You
That's
nailed.
it.
I don't think there's anything else to say.
That's it.
But like, no, you nailed it. No, I'm saying the way he's described that song, you play it in Lagos, you play it in Accra, blood. It's just
Get me!
yeah. No, that's facts. That's
Get
facts.
this
That's facts.
man on
That's
mic because he said that and no one heard it, fam. I'm annoyed, bro.
Yeah, no, big man thing. I don't think I have anything else to add except I love the fact that he's coming back to the people as Big Burna Boy, saying, I'm just like you lot.
I'm just Burna. I'm just Damini.
Yeah, I'm just Damini. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just Damini. And this is yeah. All of that. That's it. You lot's brethren.
Alright. Did you not have anything else to say about that? Common
I
Person?
was just gonna find out who produced it because I think that's important.
That's very important.
I think
yeah.
we need to keep giving producers
It's
on this
really
project.
vibey, kind of like
Most
gives, like,
definitely.
a proper humble vibe to it.
Tells again.
Tells.
Has produced among the best songs on this album, by the way. I just want that to be
Yeah. It's like low key MVP.
because he also produced, So I'm moving cloak and dagger. He produced that too. So
Okay.
when I tell you, I like that song. I think it's a nice vibe.
Very much. Very
And
much.
I think,
So still.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that song needs a music video, like you said, just going through Lagos
Passing through drive.
and just having people
I can
run
put enough
after it.
money. That song is gonna have a video. The same way I predicted It's Plenty was gonna have one.
Yeah, it makes
How
sense.
did you know It's Plenty was gonna have one?
Like sometimes, like again,
You can
maybe it's
hear
just
it and
how-
visualize it.
like maybe it's just sometimes just how I listen to music or whatever, and just thinking like a label head, and again just moving with industry people. It's not always about.
mad.
I'm
mad.
trying to be like,
Sorry.
you still.
Industry.
Man said big bad industry. I think what?
Industry.
It's not
He's
just
not in
about
Aye.
the
how-
streets.
Aye,
He's
aye.
in the street.
In the streets.
You know what I'm
I know
saying?
gaslighting.
Ayo, anyways.
But the thing is, them songs like it's come on, man. Like them songs, like it's plenty of them things there. It's like, bro, it's not about just how big the song is. It's just like when there's so much imagery in a song where it can proper picture the vibe. Like, I don't know if you guys saw it. There's plenty video dropped like what yesterday
Yeah.
or 2 days ago,
Yeah.
whatever. It hasn't been long. Almost exactly how I pictured it. I even saw a tweet someone saying like, "Can we just pretend this is this year's World Cup song?" And I hear it.
No,
I get it.
I do.
Just like you, I could see the music video in Lagos.
can see it, man.
Cars following him.
What did you say
kids-
again, JJ?
Pool party vibes.
Come on.
Vibe, man.
Next song, man.
Wild Dream. I don't want to play that one.
I
man.
don't want to play.
I told you, he skipped mad
Wild
songs.
Dreams.
Crazy amount of songs. He skipped a lot of songs.
Khalid. Khalid.
Khalid.
Khalid.
Send me your location.
Nah, I know who it is. I didn't know that's how you say it. Okay, Khalid.
Look at his face.
Fez.
Look at the smile on his face.
This guy's off. This is good. No, okay. I'll let it play.
I
Let's let
pause
play.
it.
Yeah, pause it. Go on.
Pause it. No. Quickly, before you do that, we
You guys are
need
trying to
a
catch him
JJ
out.
cam. We need a JJ cam.
He's
Don't get
smiling
twisted.
right now, man. He's happy.
I'm just saying, just for us. It doesn't even have to be for the audience.
No, it's a banger though. It's a banger.
Nah, big
I
man.
think it's a good tune. Why did you want to skip it?
I think in context of the rest of the album that he's been doing, not only does it not fit,
You didn't think it fit.
it didn't fit, and it just, bro, he can do better than this, man. Like, Khaled coming in and
You're
singing
a
that.
gem in it. Khalid.
Coming in and singing this bit. Like, there's nothing that was bad about it, but I'm just saying, like, altogether as a song, Burna Boy, it's like,
I'm gonna be honest. It is levels above that Ed Sheeran record.
I agree.
And guess what? That's not saying nothing because this record ain't good either. This record ain't good.
it's the way you picked it up, and then
Real talk, it's meaty. It's meaty.
I didn't say that.
personally, I
I just
think it's
want to let you
I
know. I
personally
didn't say
think
that.
it's
That wasn't me.
But you know, that's it. How bad could it be? How did we feel about that one?
Pardon?
Fam, you didn't even play the thing.
I did.
Wait, what?
Listen, don't disrespect my song.
Ow?
Let it drop.
No, you know what? For JJ's sake.
If you play that song, you gotta let it drop.
Yeah.
Don't play the intro.
Paused it.
This ain't that bad, but it ain't that good either. It's still not good.
Wait for it. There's no hook now.
I don't know.
You know what? Pause here.
1, 2.
Sorry, no, wait. Sorry.
I
No,
don't know.
no,
Wait,
no,
wait.
no, no,
You wanna say what you wanna
I
say?
don't know. This sounds as if you get a listening focus group. You get all people of different demographics. You say, what do you think an Afrobeat song sounds like? And people come with their suggestions.
I don't know where that car was going, bro.
Let me finish.
Enjoying the ride, and then he did this, and he was like, "Oh no."
Nah, let me finish. And they go tell someone, just make a generic Afrobeat song of what you think sounds like it.
Right. So what I'm gonna say is, because I was looking at the producers that worked on the album beforehand, and I noticed the name John Bellion. John Bellion. I don't know if you know. Cold.
Yeah.
Very much cold. Amazing.
What?
He's worked on a lot of like orchestral stuff. He's worked on movies.
But
He's worked on a lot of big people as well. But I'm seeing the combination now. John Bellion and Khalid, like probably where they were going with it. What you were saying about focus group. They got them two in the room and said,
Yo.
right, we're working with Burna Boy
Tell
today.
me like your favorite Afrobeat song.
Same labels or distribution?
I think
not
they
too
are.
sure.
In fact,
John
give me a
Bellion's
second, like I'll check
he's a
it.
visionary. That's visionary music. I don't
He's
know
therefore signed into something. But
No. He's signed to like Atlantic through Spaceship.
okay.
So
No,
give
that's
me.
Burna. I thought you were talking about John.
Oh, you're talking about John Belly? I thought you were
Yeah,
talking about
yeah.
Khalid. Let me check Khalid's label situation.
Yeah,
Give
because
me that
hearing that
second
and then
news.
understanding, yeah, that's probably where it came from. I
He
don't know
signed
if
to
Khalid,
Sony.
Khalid.
RCA Sony. I ain't saying nothing about Sony.
I-
Big
I-
up
I-
Sony, man.
we
That's what
can't.
I'm gonna
That's it.
say.
We
Big
can't.
up Sony. Big up Sony. You know, like if you're looking for people, like content creators and them things, like.
Oh,
But,
Donny's
yeah,
doing work.
um,
Donny's plugging his. Donny's doing promo.
Plug in.
Donny's using some free promo.
God, of course. Sony.
But yeah, when I heard that and I saw the names, it made sense. It's not my favorite, but it's
Oh,
there.
yeah.
You know when I was
guess-
talking about them songs that he was kind of looking hope touch the West.
This is one of them.
How bad could it be? What were we saying for that one?
I kind of play it again because I felt like it was all right because I got the concept of it.
I got the concept too.
I'm Georgia Smith, and when I'm in that mood, I can make a whole room really feel as bad as I do.
Shout out. God bless this woman, by the way.
Men on.
I know you.
I know you.
Yeah, no, we know you.
I knew
No,
it
pull
too,
it
but
back.
you was dumb bad.
Pull it back and hear her talk. You love her, right?
Is that why you said it? Nah, we're skipping that now.
Now play the song.
There's no feature. It was just voices talking.
Get your pretty like. I like this song actually. I'm not gonna lie. like it's a guitar. It's like.
It's a very light string,
Yeah, it's
like
like a
guitar,
string.
yeah.
Yes, it's really loosely stringed.
Yeah.
It's not tightly strung.
And those are hard to play, you know. I play guitar. Them things are hard to play.
Blood.
Many scars before me. Seem to decide whether you're
I love this melody. And it's got pockets as well. Like the pockets are crazy.
Like this on what's that place called? Something where they do
Oh.
Tiny desk.
is it Tiny Desk?
Yeah.
This will be hard.
Yeah, what?
They get BVs and that as well. Background vocals, like they get singers to come on and do BVs.
Yeah.
I know one girl that does BB for him actually. She's hard still.
She must be honest, because is this one and then the other one as well. Which one was it? I think it was either Dirty Secrets or It's Plenty. Where I heard a girl singing over it as well, and I thought, yeah, very nice. I don't know if it's the same one you're talking about.
I think this song is arguably the most reflective of this album. What do you do when you have a bad day? He's asked his other famous friends. At the end of this song, I think he plays a voice note from Swiss Beats, innit? Sorry, let me say that. Swiss Beats, innit? And to hear stars of that magnitude, because these are his peers.
He had Georgia Smith,
Georgia
Naomi
Smith.
Campbell.
They are big.
Big,
That's the size of
big names,
person
you know.
we're talking about. He's on their level, or arguably now probably a tiny above them, innit?
He's above Georgia.
Georgia definitely, obviously. I'm not talking about Swiss Beats or you know what I mean, but still,
Naomi Campbell, would you say? No.
no, never. No,
Come on, bro.
Who did you say he was above?
Georgia Smith.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's gonna say no, no, it's about Georgia.
No, babes.
Nah, yeah.
It's a great song. I really like that record actually.
I very much do. And the last one, your favorite, right?
Wait, I'm trying to think.
Yep.
Sorry to cut you, bro. I just want to think of more of the lyrics of that. I feel like it was very personable, and it just
It sounded a bit more not personable like to him, but like he was bringing something like his own experience to the song, but like almost talking to somebody else. That's what it sounded like. And I was reading the lyrics as well. It sounded more like that.
is how bad could it be? Is in reference to a day. It's one day.
One moment.
And you get ups and downs of your day. That's important. Do you know what I mean?
It is.
So yeah.
We're getting into the outro, the titular track of the album itself, Love Damini,
And
featuring Lady Smith, Black Mambazo.
yes, as quickly to note as well, it's almost the sign off. In fact, let me take about the almost. It is the sign off. Love Damini. This is his his fans, innit? To his fans is Love Damini. This is what I've been doing. Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. It definitely is.
And that's what makes sense of you get so many different range of emotions going from this place to that place. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
I hear that, bro. Let's get into it.
Everything be off the top these days. I ain't righteous as my early days.
exactly, bro. Exactly, bro.
Very early.
Bro,
These man activated.
Righteous as my early days. And inside these veins, my blood, my DNA. Burna Boy, but I'm Johnny Blaze. Hey, yeah. Things that I hardly say. How you been, mama? How's your day? I should talk to my granddaddy more before it's too late. Listen more to things that Ronnie says. Should've been by Bookie's side when the mother died. Should've talked to so time before he fucking died.
That was sad.
I should show people more love while they still alive. I should always know the way my people feel inside. A lot of times I feel my life's in a blender. So I tell it black and white like a panda. Yes, I'm free, I'm a star, making changes, yeah. Tryna be a better man, I've been trying. I got it all, but I still got my anger. Been working hard, tryna get rid of my anger. Remember to turn it up. Yeah.
As you can see,
Sorry.
sorry, go on.
Can I wanna, cause what
You
said
take it
before-
away, please.
Yeah.
So you cut off the last bit of the song.
Nah,
Which basically
I let it play.
outroed it out.
Yeah,
you know?
in fact, play it because I don't think I even got that.
Nah, we didn't hear that. Oh, you didn't hear it?
Nah. I told you, signing off.
Go on. Give me your take.
You know what? Yeah. I was talking to my friend about this song. I was listening to the gym when this album came out. I do know I told him the first that I heard this. I said, "This is what I imagine it sounds like when you're going to heaven." Like this is like
I get it, though. I get it.
like
I completely understand that.
like you know when it's just a beam of light, you're just going up, yeah, bro.
That little march.
It's just like the because first of all, I didn't understand a word it was saying, but I knew it was either Zulu or Xhosa. No, Xhosa, that's like South African dialect, didn't it? I rang my South African friend. Come if you're watching this, big up, shout out her, bro. That's really my G. I said like, yo, you have to translate this for me, bro. And she did. Like I still got some of the translations here. Like roughly means, and think about this in context with how the song sounds, by the way. Who hasn't got mistakes? You have to agree that no one is perfect. You have to live better. Like, all you can do is, and taking again in context with the album as well, it's just like you have to live with your mistakes and live better by them. That's what they're saying in that bit. That probably no one in the.
That's say that again to the mic, bro, because that's
So that just kind of makes it sound like once you because already I could tell like there's something being said here. Something in my spirit said, nah, Ohiz, like do research, try and find out what this means. Because on Genius, at least when the album came out, the actual lyrics weren't there. It just says outro, Black Sam, whatever. I literally ran my face like, yo, you have to translate this for me. Like I have to be proven right. I need to know that something of substance is being said. And I was
It sounds like it, therefore, just from
Like,
not understanding
it
the
just
word being said,
it just sounded
there's-
like it, bro.
heavy gravity to what's being said. You can hear it. But please carry on.
Blood, like that. Again, it's my favorite song because even though it's just nothing. I mean, Burna's intro to the song was great. It was very reflective. Obviously, he's talking about rest in peace, Sound Sultan, bro. That's a Nigerian legend. That's a hero. That summer, things like that. He's just in his most reflective mood, and then obviously the outro. It's just perfect. It's like, yeah, you've had mistakes. Yeah, you're going through life like this. Rare. But you can recover from this. You can be better. You can progress in life. That's one of the most smooth sounding Burna records in this year I've ever heard, bro. It was just so smooth to listen to. I was doing a set in the gym. I had to stop because I knew if I kept on doing because I was trying to do deadlifts. If I tried to continue, I would 100% drop it.
You would drop the
Yeah.
I would
Deadlifts,
100%
dangerous.
drop it, bro. Because I was
It's
like,
mad.
this is not the vibe. But I'm supposed to be listening to some real basic stuff. Let me go in. I don't try to be somewhere thinking about my life. It's just like, damn, maybe I have made mistakes, you know. Drop the thing on your
Blood.
chest.
Nah, that's serious.
That's a serious
Honestly,
mistake there. That would have been.
my favorite part of the song is that he let the choir. I'm not sure if it's a choir, or is it just her voice? How
No,
many
it's a
voices?
chorus. It's like Black. How do you even say the name again?
Yeah.
I'm really trying to get the name properly. Yeah, Ladysmith, Black Mamboso.
Oh,
They're like 18 of them. They're a
Yeah,
group.
it makes sense though
Yeah.
because there's so many. It just felt spiritual.
Yeah,
Listen
they're
to
like
that.
18 of them, bro. That's
like that
so.
spiritual.
It
That's
was
a good
so
one.
spiritual, and I just spent the time reflecting, introspective, and now knowing the meaning, it adds greater weight to the words of.
Bro.
It's so applicable to us all. Do you know what I mean? It's
Got the
so
song, by the way.
applicable.
They actually have 2 songs of Lion King. Simple, like one is We Are One, and another one's Opendi. And like, but yeah, they're both the Lion King. So these guys have been around for time, bro.
30 years.
Time, bro. Look at this. Look at them. Obviously, you might can show the photo, whatever. But these lot have been around for time, bro. Perfect vocals, and I started listening. That song was so good. I had to go back to the discography, and when I did, it's worth it, bro. Big up Burner for that.
Big them up as well, man.
But my God, bro,
Yeah.
that was a sensational outro.
As I'm saying, I'm so glad he just let them do their thing on that
Yeah,
and just let them eat. Do you know what I mean? It's perfect.
let them eat, bro.
So we've come to the end of
Mm.
the album. How do we feel overall so far? And like any wild takes, favorite verses, favorite songs?
Well, I was gonna go through the questions I have.
Oh, yeah,
as
please
well.
do, bro.
Yeah.
Come
yeah,
on.
yeah. Give me a second. Well, okay, so because I think we kind of went over it already with like we talked about before.
Yeah.
You talked about as well. First impressions when you first heard it, like what your first take of it, like what were you thinking?
So, I'm a real. My first spin, I took only 2 songs from it, which was obviously It's Plenty and this thing here. And I was like, you know what? It's alright. I understand where it was going with it. Like, just off first listen, it's a vibe still. Then, obviously, when I have time, when I'm not listening in the gym, I'm just in my personal time, really just trying to take in the album. It's like, okay, I get where you were going thematically. Obviously, there might have been some sequencing issues there, and there were 1 or 2 songs that you can tell that I'm really just trying to get my streams up. But in general, where would I put that against his other albums, like the last 3? It's third. Big Man thing, it's third. But that's not like a diss or whatever. I'm just smashing Burna against himself because I really, in my opinion, I don't think Burna pushed himself on this thing as much as he could have. That is like my overall summary. Like if you were to give me one sentence to describe it, I was just like, it's Burna Boy. Burna Boy will always make good music because that's just who he is. Like that's just something he can't shake off. But if you ask me if he applied himself as much as he could,
Probably not, you'd say.
no.
You'd say probably
I
not.
applied some real old school uncle terms, you know. But yeah, he did.
Do you wanna go next?
My first impression.
Yeah, first impression.
Literally heard this today.
Are you
No homework being done. I see it. I see the lack of homework, the lack of preparation.
Yeah, man.
today?
That was very dramatic.
Real
I can't
talk.
lie. That was very dramatic.
Hey, yo, yuck.
Yeah.
That was very dramatic. Nah, but hearing it and, you know, me, I'm still like not getting used to. I'm still taking in Burna Boy as an artist and as someone that's like really like renowned. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause there's a lot of people just within the black community itself, first and foremost, like a lot of people talk about Burna Boy big. So I'm listening off the back of that and I'm going through it and I'm thinking it makes sense. I like what I'm hearing. It's very much like a Burna Boy record. Like that second half as well, like as much as we flamed it, yeah, it makes sense in the thing of like he's international. There's all these acts that he's interacted with or people that maybe like the label have said you'll work well with him, but there's a reason behind it. I don't agree with the reason, but there's something there where it's like, okay, it makes sense that this is happening and that's there in the actual album.
A lot of label tampering in this thing.
A lot of it.
That's
But
gonna lead to my final penultimate take that I've been building up for about an hour.
yeah, like generally I just liked it. Like it was a good record to listen to. Just like I've said, that second half of the album I wouldn't go back.
So are you saying? So are both of you saying that both for your first impressions? Because the initial question was, what was your first impression?
Yeah, just my first impression of it.
Okay, so that's both of you lot's first impressions.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. My first impression was
And when did you listen to this? I'm just curious.
originally.
Yeah.
Originally the week of, and I skimmed through it.
When did you listen to this actually?
The day it dropped, I was in the gym. I spun him through
Mad.
the day.
Yeah.
It dropped. Bro,
So it was the
Burna
week
Boy.
of. It wasn't the day of. It was the week of. So it might have dropped on the.
Do you feel it's dependent also on what you're doing?
100%, bro. It's like how I mean, you weren't here when I was talking about it. Like when I spun like last for the first time, I was in my yard reading. I was studying like wording. Like just like had earphones on. I didn't feel it. Like I didn't feel it like that. But the first time I heard the song at a motive with speakers,
And that's a bad way to judge songs. If we're being honest, because
What?
That's why people can't judge
it's not judging songs properly.
24 hours after it's released.
No,
You
I'm
can't.
saying in
you
general,
can't. I can't give a honest like even like. Just
know
You say you can or you can't.
you can.
can't.
You
in
can.
my
Oh,
opinion.
okay.
You
okay.
can.
Can't.
What after 24 hours, you can have an initial judgment, and then you can refine your judgment. You can.
But people don't. Some
People don't because they're not music lovers. I'm gonna stop calling people idiots because I think that's unfair. I think people
Yeah.
are not refined in their music taste. So continue in terms of my initial judgment when I first heard it, because that's what we was originally on. Is I'm saying that I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was anything great by Burna Boy standards, but I thought it was quite good. I had to revisit it, and yeah, and
It's
I
one of them things I agree with Jay. Like it's like you can't, especially albums like this, you can't listen to it one take and be like, okay, this is my opinion on it. I don't
But
think that's
you-
fair on the artist.
you can have, but you can. It's possible
You
to
can
do so.
therefore have an,
It's not. I'm not saying it's correct, and I'm saying we don't do that as music lovers. But the average music listener does that.
and that's why we have situations where they make these type of songs, like with the featuring J Balvin's and the Ed Sheerans and that. I'm so serious because it's like, oh, what song? Oh, oh,
I didn't skip them. He skipped them.
we,
no,
we, yeah.
Nah, no,
Collectively, we
all of them, all of them, every single one of them. As soon as he said the name Ed Sheeran, I said, "Dog, why are we talking about this?
What are we doing?
Big man, why are we talking about this?
Like, what are we
I
doing?
fuck with that." Anyway, next question, please.
Your favorite song? Just to
Ooh, Cloak and Dagger, Is Plenty, Common Person, and
I'll give one song, bro.
no, I can't pick one.
This is how people fail exams, bro. Like,
No, you said favorite songs off the album. You said
Song.
songs. Well then
I said
repeat.
song.
Well then repeat the question and make it clear.
Favorite song, bro.
Cloak and Dagger. Now move on.
This guy, no behavior, you know. What's your favorite song?
you already know. I've described. I read a whole.
Carry on.
I listened to. You laughing just instigate shit, but what was I gonna say? Yeah, love Damini, easy, beautiful, big respect to It's Plenty, yeah. But I think that Love Damini, that's the best outro this year, in general. Any song I've heard this year, I think that's the best outro this year. Period.
Might be Tony and sing.
I feel like saying last is cheating, so
No,
I don't
it's
want to
not.
say that. Nah,
If-
for
if
me,
it's- if you
for
feel
me,
it, you
it's
feel it,
cheating
it's
because
still.
it's nah, it's
Chris
not.
a
But I don't
fucking
want to say
banger,
that.
like.
You're such a music.
That is big.
Nah,
No,
I'm gonna
not
be
even
honest.
that.
Yeah.
When it came before, and it was like the thing where like everyone was like bigging it up and saying last. This is. I was like, okay.
You're just a music nerd. That's a music nerd's take. I hope you realize what you're saying. You don't like the song because it's.
No,
you
no,
don't
no.
want
Wait. I didn't say I didn't
Let
like
me
the
finish
song.
You've
Go
interrupted
on.
me. You've said, I'm not trying to name it as the best song on the album because everyone else thinks it's big, and because that's what you're saying. Just say you like the song, bruv.
No, I'm
as
saying
the best
I
song
like
on that.
the song.
Say if
I like
you
the
initially
song.
said you was gonna say I don't want to say last because, and that's the reasoning.
But I'm saying it's a standout.
You're going
There's a
around
lot.
what I'm
No.
saying, bro.
I'm saying it's a standout. Everyone loves it. It's a big song, so I like it as well, and I'm seeing it as one of the standouts of the album. But I'm going through it as a project, and I'm saying Tony and Sing, because when I first heard it, I immediately dropped that on the playlist, bro. You know.
I genuinely
bro, you was
believe-
there. You played it for me when we was in the thing. I was like,
I'm gonna be
yeah.
honest. It's between. So I said, Cloak and Dagger. It's between that and the song you just named, Tony and Sing, because it's a crazy song. Because it's not just about pop. It's not just about that though. Because everyone's singing that bit. The pockets he got into, he hit every breakbeat on the song. And you're not lying. You're there to. This is why.
Shouldn't be on that.
Unserious guy.
I said this earlier. to be
We
fair.
know.
Nah, literally, he hit every breakbeat of the song. Literally, it's on all the beats. That's good.
Hey, bangers.
Yeah.
Go on.
My next question.
Come on, man.
I'm not saying.
we've been saying that
I
as well.
think you've mistaken my point. He is probably the best part of the song, but people have underrated Burna Boy so much.
I think they both.
I'm saying in general. Most people have said, it's not really Burna Boy's song, it's a popcorn song.
Okay.
People have been saying that.
I hear it.
I disagree with that because he just has a hook. Can't be a man's song when the man is going in like that. It isn't like he had 2 weak verses. The verses were strong.
We didn't even ask you your favorite song.
Oh, Science is a banger, though.
I feel that, man. I feel that. Science was cold still. Is that yours or you're just still going through the? Okay.
Yeah, it has to be.
Tony and Sing. I know you're gonna say Tony and Sing.
Yep. I feel that.
I read that.
Ballon d'Or. Why wasn't that on the album?
Can I have my take, please?
Why wasn't that on the album?
This is the perfect opportunity to say my take. This album was rushed after Last. This album was put together. The songs were made. Every single, because
I agree with that.
Artists
never thought
record
about it,
in
but that
bulk,
makes
right?
sense.
Artists record in bulk. So he has about 70, 80, 90 songs that are done throughout a year.
Okay.
It's his job to record, right?
Uh-huh.
And after they saw the success of Last, think about it. Where was the promo for this album before Last
Non-existent.
We didn't even know what
As
the
in,
album
there was
gonna
no word of saying, "Hey guys, I've got an album coming." He was doing a tour off of the previous album, touring old songs. I'm not sure if you pre his Instagram. Go on, what you say? Yes, I know. So I know.
like a
Yeah,
Stormzy.
you're right that a lot of them are COVID shows and they've been rescheduled. But I'm talking about even the previous album was only put out in 2020, bro. Most megastars don't drop every year. It's insane. Which megastar drops every year or every 2 years? It's a minimum 2-3 years is a minimum. Usually it's 4 or 5. Do you know what I mean? I think this is just my theory. They saw how big Last got and said, Burner, what songs do you have available to you? Said, boy, I got these. Pick 20. Pick 19. This is the album. That's my take. And I think
That's
Atlantic,
A bad take? Did you
I
say?
said that's not a bad take.
Oh, okay.
I think
Come on, yo.
I couldn't hear it properly.
Imagine me
That's why.
Imagine me just sat back as I can't lie. That's a bad take. Still,
To be
like,
honest,
After all that big speech.
I'm not gonna lie, you can say that. I just think because he signed to a major, I think it lends more to the actual argument itself.
yeah. I agree
Like,
with that.
I don't think it's just him. They wanted that album. They said, this last thing is doing this. Drop us that album. We need that by 3 weeks' time.
And Burna Boy probably saw it just like, you know what? Let me actually like capitalize. Like, why not? You get me?
Exactly. And if we now know,
Good check as well.
and if we know now that he, think about it logically, he drops the biggest song in the world this year.
Yeah.
He only sees 20% of those royalties. You got to make up. You got, not just that. I've got to make up the actual difference anyway.
No, but remember what he said, and he's been saying it. He said that
It's made in the
this
most,
has made him more bread.
but that's not
Than
the
any
point.
song he's ever made.
That's not the point.
That's 20%.
That's not also the point. The point I'm saying is he's also got an album requirement to fill out. He's signed to a major. He's got a number of set albums to release to be free.
Okay.
Think
Long game.
the long game. The more albums I put out, the quicker I get out of this blood clot deal.
I therefore think that second half of the album lends to that theory because
And that's what I'm basing it off.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really thinking
it,
it's like,
because and I remember we had we kind of had it's not the same thing at
Huge
all.
name features too. Like, idiot features. They're the biggest in the music industry. Ed Sheeran is one of the biggest in the music industry. Khalid, I told you lot here. You had, bro.
Yeah.
He's made his label. I think it was something stupid like 9 figures. 9. It's either 8 or 9. So that's like I think
to be fair, it's easily 9 because even now, like, I don't know if you guys remember that song "Exo to Live" by Lil Uzi Vert. Like, I don't really care. If
He wrote that?
No. I'm just trying to say, like, just relax.
No, I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm
That's when
saying
balance, like, how much money can be made. Apparently, that song made, even though this is crazy and why I do not believe in labels, yeah, that song made $80 million in a year.
easy. No, you're 100% right because the tune Don't Rush, Slow Touch. Guess how much? I can't remember the exact number, but I was told. In fact, I can't say. Let me take that back. I don't know the exact number. I don't.
Yeah.
But it made the label a lot of money.
So think about it. That's a song that was a decent song. Imagine what songs like Location. But bear in mind, by the way, that song, by the way, even though the label sold 80 million, Lil Uzi sold 4 million out of that.
Of course, that's his deal.
4
He signed it.
million.
It's not right.
I would lose my head.
It's not right, but he signed it. Unfortunately.
What I was gonna say quickly before, that outro to the album, if we took out the songs that are necessary features, the ones that just didn't,
You know, I was
need
gonna
to be
say
there,
that next.
it
Yeah,
fit-
sorry to
it would
interrupt
fit-
you.
yeah.
But if this album was like 12 songs long, maybe 12, 11, I would have a very different perspective on this album.
I would too.
If this was
I would
12,
too.
How many tracks is it?
19.
19.
I can't lie. It's definitely too long, but my point. That's what I'm saying. Literally.
Working.
I'm saying, what's the cutoff point of the 90? Which songs do you keep? Because I'm gonna be real. After 8,
Yeah, you can fling out. What
no, I'm not saying
count as an album now? What is it?
you're a big act. You can say 7 songs is my fucking album,
Yeah.
and people are gonna buy it as your album.
I don't. Seven's a bit short.
Seven's a bit short.
Seven's a bit short.
Seven is an EP.
Seven's a bit short.
I said
Oh,
that
Who
but
is
Kanye-
doing
Kanye-
blood?
Kanye's
Are you
done
sick?
that.
Kanye's
Kanye's done
released.
that. Kanye's done that.
Kanye is out of here, bro. Kanye is an all-time.
this
Kanye can do that.
intro, minus intro, outro.
brother.
No, Kanye can do that. Kanye's an
Who is
all-time
telling
great.
someone that is not an album apart from the label?
There isn't a defined.
There's no
number-
defined-
there's
you can
number
make-
of what
See,
can be an
like
album.
you can drop a 4-track album. Like anything.
Adele
you got
tomorrow
anything-
could drop a 3-track album. Who's telling us shit?
Yeah, there's no actual limit as to what album is. I'm just saying, in line with trying to get to a certain place or whatever. If I was an A&R and I cared more about how the album sounded as opposed to how much money this album can make depending on sequence and again, I could make this whole thing 11 to 12 songs and it would be great. It would be really good from top to bottom. But like I said, even though like you said that it could be 7, it could be whatever. I'm just going off the songs I like and the songs that even though I might not be the biggest fan, it still fits in thematically with the album.
Because that's what I'm saying. Where do you end the album?
I would
if you-
keep
if
the
you lot are
intro and the
saying
outro. I'll keep it the same. The intro and the outro definitely has to stay. You have to keep It's Plenty. You keep Tony and Sing. You keep common person.
He was about to
So
say
songs
Common
like
Sense.
I'm taking out.
First to have it.
I'm taking out For My Hand Roller Coaster. I would keep Vanilla in there.
I like Vanilla, man. Keep it in there.
I'll
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
Vanilla
yeah,
in
make
there.
her come. And that's what I'm saying.
That one just waste.
Yeah, bro, I was literally doing that.
I would take out Wild Dreams as well. Sorry,
I
bro.
would take Wild Dreams out too. I would take it definitely like.
So that brings it down to 6. that
Keep going.
that brings it down to 16. I don't know.
Keep going.
Because after that, I only said from Tony and Sing like downwards. That's where I felt
Nah,
like rare.
I think there's still a couple
I could
more
take
songs.
out Wild Dreams. I personally could take out Vanilla. I'm taking out Roller Coaster.
Take out the Ed Sheeran record.
That's what we said. I said it. I
Oh,
said
did you
it
say
already.
it?
Take out last.
My bad.
Yeah. Nah. So I'd say 15, 16 songs. Calm.
You know that's not that much of it. This is a panicky take, you know.
No, but I feel like those songs, yeah, because not even like length or anything, it takes up a lot of, like you go for it and you're like,
It's filler.
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And feel like, even though it's just like 1 or 2 songs, it feels like a
Wait,
lot.
hold on. Are we taking out different size? We are.
You could take that out.
We
You can take different size out.
I personally think it's okay, but you lot were
I
very
like
harsh in it.
Well, not me. It was you two.
Oh, yeah.
I liked it.
Like I have my opinion on it.
Is this?
You're saying.
Amma.
It was them. It was them.
I could take it out. JJ is too funny.
Yeah. Was it? Bro, Skanker's in the building.
Yeah,
Hey. It was them.
No.
It was
Be
them
honest.
two.
I
It
could.
was them two.
It
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Can I tell you what I said?
Wasn't me.
I said, by Burna Boy standards, it's a lazy song, but the feature on it is crazy. The feature went in. He said he'd take off the album. I'm just being
I said
funny
I
now
could
because
kick
you
it.
lot were both like,
Like, if I was trying to shorten it, I
You didn't
could
say
kick
that
it off.
you liked it. Now you're
And
lying.
I felt like the sample again was
okay,
just
cool. Say no
begging
more.
to
Say no
be-
more.
You said.
Cool.
Did he
Remember
say
these
that
words.
he liked it?
I still keep it in, yeah.
No, no, you're playing semantics. Don't do that.
Say less.
Did you
I'm
like
glad
the
said
song?
that. Yes.
How much did you like the song?
I liked it a lot. I thought it was good. You heard me say that as well. I was next to you.
But yeah, carry on.
I like that one still.
It's a banger, bro.
I like
Nah,
it, bro. And I said it as well for Vic
can
Tony.
keep it, I
I
guess.
think Burna Boy
You
allowing
got
the space
peer
for him
pressure
to
to
shine
keep
on
it.
it. I think it worked.
Lynch, I'm not gonna lie,
You know what I'm
still.
saying? But I did agree with what you lot.
careful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did agree with what you lot said. Yeah, like he's got to come hit for hit on all of these songs, or not even hit for hit, but he's got to come like with the right type of energy, and it's got to be like that's the song you're not skipping, or you're not gonna be like.
Who said that? Me or?
I think it was one of you two.
I
that
didn't
said it.
say because I think it's unrealistic to say to an artist
Not
every song has to be they gotta come fight. They're gonna
not
have
hit for
off
hit,
days.
But I think what you were saying was like songs that like if when he's lending the voice to Vic Tony, letting him do his thing on the track, yeah, you then can't come and be like lazy, just like singing for the sake of singing.
I
on
don't
it.
think
Like,
it's late. I think if you're gonna, for example, there's songs with Jay-Z, yeah, where Jay-Z let Beanie and Freeway and them eat. He let them go it like we still hustle till the sun go down. Run. Y'all better bond that song. Even though what we do is wrong. That song.
I know
You have no idea
exactly
what I'm talking about.
I know
Alright,
exactly.
anyway, the point is, he didn't say nothing on that verse. Well, he was kind of intricate, but he wasn't Jay-Z levels of.
Yeah.
He let them man eat.
yeah.
There's enough songs like that where Big Boy say, yo, these are my guys. Listen to my guys. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's important, and I think he did that purposely.
Yeah, because I was with it as well, but it was when you were saying like if it's a passable song, you're not gonna pick it up as much. Like for Vic Tony, it's good, but it's still, and we're talking Burna Boy levels as well. Like the song has to be one where it's like, okay, I'm coming to it, I like it, we're picking it up. I'm gonna, you're gonna say like Shazam it, like you pick up and be like, oh, I'm trying to get that song. So I agree with you on that, but I did like the song, like I really do.
Okay.
What I was gonna say, best feature.
Huss, because, and I'll explain why. Huss has been missing for 2.5 years, and he came back with that,
Yeah,
and it's warmed us all
Last time when he unfortunately was not able to.
to record. He came back with Big Conspiracy. No promo, no photo, no nothing.
He came out, like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he just came out, period.
Yeah. No, that's fact.
These are big things that he's doing. So
Did-
to be, and then every Burner track has hit. So now when they're going back to say, okay, everyone's anticipating what's the next Burner J House
Collab.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's that one. Also, the fact that it's gonna lead towards an album. I don't know when. I don't know when.
Someone was saying this the other day. It said there has to be the end of the year. I said,
Nah.
new standard.
I can't lie.
Word.
I'm saying I can't say definitely because I don't know, but to my knowledge, no. What I will say is that there's an album done allegedly.
That's a big conspiracy, you know. But anyways, best
Hey,
feature.
hey.
But best feature to me has to be, come on, bro. Lady Smith, Black Man, bro. So you guys hit everything.
I like that.
I go is it? Nah,
Word.
that's good.
Word.
And remember, they did the intro and the outro, and they sounded incredible on both of them.
I feel you know. I agree with that. I just think the moment personally, as a massive J House fan,
Yeah, of course.
and obviously being outside for his whole rise was like that's my era, innit? Sorry, our era. Do you know what I mean? It's a landmark moment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I say J Hus for me as well. Literally just the anticipate, because I remember he dropped the track list beforehand. You see the name, the anticipation.
Oh, is
for
it?
Yeah.
I
I
just
remember
heard-
seeing it, and
I
I
just
saw,
heard
yeah.
the song.
Like, to me, I don't know what it was. Yeah, I just read the name of the song, Cloak and Dagger. I'm like, this has to be a banger, bro.
And then, bro, he delivered, and that was it.
Yeah, no,
This
honestly,
has to be a
I
banger,
just
bro.
heard the song, so I saw the track list. I'm like, this might be, because the first time I heard it, I think it just wasn't in speakers. But when you play that in proper speakers, my lord, Cloak and Dagger, it's mastered.
I think most songs, I don't think you can play just in headphones anymore. Not anymore, just in general. You don't think you can
Bro,
play songs
thank you so much. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like this goes back to how you listen to an album, bro. There's certain albums that you listen to. Yeah, it's like when people call it trash or whatever. I'm like, it depends on how you listen to
How you
it.
listen to it, yeah.
Yeah,
Another
because
thing
there's
is-
some albums that put your earphones in, somber vibe, just proper vibe out. But there's some albums that listen to it with earphones makes no sense. You need a speaker, bro. Yeah,
We're in the studio,
you need
yeah.
a speaker, bro.
I
Like
don't
I
think
said,
it's-
and it approach happened with me because the first time I heard last, I'm like, this song is aight, bro. This song is aight at birth. The second I heard it on a motive, bro, it was
That's
like a
cheating,
different
you know.
song.
I'm gonna be honest. That's cheating.
No, it depends. Some
I'll
songs
tell- I'll tell-
some
I'll-
songs are media on earphones and they're media in the club.
I'm just going off my.
I'm dead.
I'm so serious, bro.
It's just cheating in the sense of you kind of got peer pressure to like it.
No,
A little bit.
No,
Instead, you saying you heard it in a club, you heard it, people singing to it, and it's like, okay, I get it now.
But you say
it's
that's peer
different-
pressure or you.
But the thing is that
because it's
there's
the
some-
vibe of the room. If
yeah.
everyone's singing to it, you're like,
But it's
Well, someone
different
kinda-
though. There's
I
some songs
understand it,
that are
and-
big hits that people can say every single lyric, and I just won't rate it like that. It's not just about peer pressure. There's some songs are like that. I'm not gonna say it because
And it works. For
But-
example,
yeah.
that the tune, how can I go Doja Cat? That. I
It's
know
big,
the
but
lyrics.
do I like the song? No.
I know the lyrics to it now by repetition. It's been drummed in my head. Marketing doesn't mean I like it, but I can appreciate if it's on at a concert. For example, I was literally at a concert on Tuesday, and it came on, and I was just silent, just singing a lot, mouth along to it because I know the words. So, and that's why I think, do you actually like this song, or because everyone is singing it, do you like it?
Do you feel like sometimes there's times you listen to songs but not listen to lyrics?
yeah,
Just listen to the beat.
that's me.
Listen to the
I
pattern, listen
I
to
don't
That's
know if
me.
I can do just how my whole brain is wired. I can listen to both simultaneously. Big man thing. I'm not.
And the way my brain is right, I feel like I can take out lyrics.
I can't.
And it's as if I'm just listening to lyrics.
And this is why there's bare songs that people love, and I say, nah, that song's wild because he said this. And they're like, what do you mean he said that? He said it
But I get
on
it.
line
When
one.
you then say that back to me, I get it. After you've said it, but
Do you understand?
yeah, no.
There's bare songs that I could have let her try me. She said, I always say this on this podcast. I really hate N-words. I'm a Nazi.
Crazy.
That's what she said. And people are just singing it like, but as you said, people can take away the lyrics and just listen to the like the beat in it.
Out of 10, let's give a final rating for this one. Personal ones. You just said
7 point. Actually, that's kind of low. Nah, I'm right. 7.6. 7.6. It's not an 8. I'm not bumping it up to it. It's 7.6. Because the second half of this album let it down severely.
yeah.
If this was just the first half, I'd rate it a lot higher.
You wanna go next?
No, you can go. I'm still thinking.
7.25. I don't know what it is. It just feels like I don't want to give it a 7.5 because I feel like that's still too close to 8. But I feel like, again, like you said, like the first few songs proper. Like I said, if it was cut down, this could have been an 8. Like if some of the songs were completely taken out, this could have been an 8. But with what was presented to us with the filler and the meaty stuff, yeah, I can't give it a 7.5. That's why I say 7.25-ish,
Yeah,
7.3. That's what I'm
100.
feeling.
Yeah.
I say 7 straight.
That's surprising, though. Because you had a lot of things to say that were positive.
They were positive. Now, do you know what it is? Because I'm remembering the ratings that we gave the previous album reviews that we done in it, but it's kind of not fair to do. I don't think.
You should just off of this album. I don't think that's fair because there's different context to all these albums.
I'd still give it a 7 because that.
This is a 6th album, and I sort of compared guys' first albums.
Nah, I
So
hear
it's
that. I hear
not
that. I'm
unfair.
still saying 7 because that second half of it for me just takes me out of the actual like listening process. 'Cause
I hear you.
I get to the outro and I'm feeling like this was a journey, but I shouldn't have had to go through what I went through to get to that spot.
I told
there.
you it's the traffic, bro.
And I'm not even saying it as in like them songs were trash. I'm saying it as if a thing of like, nah, it's just your take, innit? My take was they're not trash, they just didn't belong there.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it just took me out of it to a place where it's like, bro, it just, you need to, it's a label situation, innit? So there's nothing really you can do or I can say. It's there, innit? But it took me out of it, and that first half of it was enjoyable. What I also said about the sequencing, I know you guys made a point of potentially your theory was it could have been sequenced purposefully that way.
The first half, anyway.
The first half, I hear it, and if it's done that way, I think that would be sick. I don't know. I don't know if it's actually done that way.
No one knows.
I
This
don't
is
know.
Speculation.
And so I would be going off of, I don't think he has. So that would probably just take it down to a 7 for me. Because if he did do that, I'm seeing.
I'm just going off of the informed bias of we know how good of an artist he is, and that is something that he would potentially do, or his production team.
Maybe
But-
that's me still, taking in Burna Boy in that same way. Then,
And
'cause-
I think that's the difference. I've
Yeah.
heard Outside, I've heard More Alive, I've heard obviously African Giant Twice as Tall. Even though I don't like Twice as Tall as a full body of work, it has its moments 100%. But
That's how I feel about this one.
it defo has its moments.
100.
It's the same as, to be honest, it's probably these last two albums definitely been, they've had their moments, high moments, but it's just not it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's nothing else you can say. Burna
Bro.
Boy, big up yourself, innit?
Before we even wrap that, just a slight thing I want to say. Obviously, it's October 1st, big up Nigeria.
Bap independence, we say.
That's
But
Nigeria's Independence
But
Day.
I think us lot should say Freedom Day, because I'm not talking about not independence. Us lot are not independent. We're free in our dog. We have to celebrate freedom. You see what I mean? I say us lot can't be independent. We can't be independence of anybody. It's got to be freedom. That's Nigeria's Freedom Day.